your partners, with your parents who are suffering from blood pressure, who are suffering from sugar. With these three things, what I said, even the insulin has been stopped and they have gone to medication. Some people have stopped insulin by regularly doing this every day morning. Some people do not take even the medicines now when they do it regularly. Because look at me. Look at me. I am in the morning 100 times. No, I am not young. My knees are very strong. I cannot still have an issue on the knees. Please understand. And my weight is as per my height. I don't allow you to go beyond that. And start when you are doing this three powerful things. And in case you add that bhakti, that meditation and silence, I think life will be very different. Am I right? Can we do a big round of applause? Let's close the communication session. Have a seat. Have a seat. I want to quickly take you through this communication. No pen, no pencil, only this paper. And I want to do a communication with you in order for you to understand that there can be very bad communication, there can be good communication, and this particular exercise will give you an understanding of what I am trying to say. For this exercise, I am going to be your boss. I am going to be your... You have to listen to me. Because in communication, we talk about many things which will come out of this now. While you are going to be listening to my communication, I don't need it. I think I'm better without this. While you are going to be listening to me, I am going to do another thing with you. While I will communicate, I am going to blindfold you. Blindfold means while you are listening, you are going to close your eyes. So you have on your tables some blindfolds, and please start blindfolding yourself. This exercise का तर आँखों निकलेगा when we will be closing this exercise. You have a piece of paper in hand and you are being blindfolded. That means while I am communicating to you, you are not able to even see me. Because I am the boss. I am the... And you have a paper in hand and I will give you instructions what to do with the paper. Since I am the boss, I will not allow you to talk because I am the boss. I am a communicator and I am the boss. And while I am communicating, you don't have to stop me anywhere because I am the boss. So paper in hand, I will give instructions. Follow me because I am the boss. Paper in hand. In two hands, keep the paper in hand. Fold the paper into two. Cut the paper on the right hand side. Cut the paper on the left hand side. Cut the paper in the center. Cut the paper at the top corner. paper left and center. Cut the paper right center. Cut the paper on the top center. Cut the paper right hand side top corner. Cut the paper right hand side top corner. Cut the paper on the left center. Fold the paper again. Cut the paper on the top corner. Cut the paper on the right center. Cut the paper on the bottom center. Cut the paper on the left corner. Cut the paper on the right center. Cut the paper on the left center. Cut the paper on the right center. Cut the paper on the top corner. Oh, you have to head up with my communication. Oh my God. Okay. Please stop. And open your. Okay. I did a communication. Whether good or bad, we will talk about it. Now I want to see what happened in this communication. Can I see, Abe? What did you do with the paper? Oh, see. Can I see your paper? Oh my God, see what's going on. Oh my God, what is your paper? Oh my God, what's your paper? Huh? Listen, this is not only here. Let's look at this place. What has he understood? Look at his paper. What have you done? Oh my God, what has he done? What have you done, sir? Oh my God. What have you done? And what is his paper? Let's have a look here. See what he has understood. Oh my God.
Fantastic job.
Fantastic job. Look at this. Oh, sir. Sir, what is this? Oh my God, this is the only paper left. Look at this. See what's happening in 30 people here. भावना जी, ये क्या कर दिया आपने? चंचल मैडम देखिए. Oh my, what is this? Look at this. Oh my God, what is this? अरे सर जी क्या किया आपने? Look at this. Now let's look at this. This is the paper. Oh my God, this is what has happened. Madam, oh, what is understood by her? What is understood by him? Shani साहब कहाँ से आए? अरे it's a beautiful thing. Have you seen what happened in communication? First of all, what went wrong in communication?
So the communication, first of all, it came at a very high speed. Eyes were closed. What we were doing, we had no idea.
High speed, while we were doing, nobody knew. What else went wrong in the communication? We were just listening. There was no two-way communication. What else happened?
One time to process it.
We didn't get
Blindly following
Blindly following the leader. Next.
the same thing.
We haven't the time to process it. क्या करते हैं?
You had no time even to interact. Bhavna.
We didn't have a chance to ask you a question कि इधर का लेफ्ट कि आपका लेफ्ट कि मेरा लेफ्ट कहाँ से कहाँ?
कोई कुछ भी पता नहीं. What did you say?
I was just following what you were saying blindly.
What about
without
you?
Understanding.
I don't know what to do.
I don't know what to do. There was no clarity. What happened? Boss is saying. What about you? Only
No
listening.
alignment, no collaboration.
No alignment. Ineffective communication. Oh my God. What about you? Speed was very bad.
Unable to understand the
And I don't understand.
No clear purpose.
No clear purpose, no clear vision, no clear objective, nothing. How many of you would like to have me as your boss? Huh? Huh? No one. Are you sure?
Yes.
Abhi, how many of you follow your boss sometimes like this?
All the time.
Wait. How many of you, if not always, sometimes follow your boss like this? Yes or no?
But we caution.
Not always. Not always. Not always.
Not always, हाँ मैंने भाई पहले खुद ही बोला था।
Not always.
Always नहीं होगा तो निकल ही जाओगे। Okay. Now another question. How many of you do it with your subordinates sometimes? Yes or no? अवतार है भगवान का रूप है, राम है, रहीम है, हैं? बताओ नहीं, I want to listen. How many of you do it with your subordinates sometimes? Yes or no?
Yes.
The learning is the communication made by me was disaster. Communication made by me is not communication. This is the saddest part of communication. But the communication made by me to all of you is an alarm in your eyes, ears, everywhere, that this too does happen wherever we work, including my organization. I'm sorry, my colleagues are here. How do we change? This is part and parcel of our organization. But how do we ensure that we don't get into this? Because there is an issue about Korti. There is an issue about when we communicate with our leaders, when we have on your build-up of communication that I have done, the important factor we talked about yesterday was trust. And I talk about it as 4 T's. When you have a trust with your boss and subordinates, then trust building can become powerful. Communication can become powerful. You will not do this kind of a communication with your teams. The first T is trust. What is trust? What is trust? What is trust?
Faith that the word works will be done.
Faith that the work, believe. What else? What else? What else is trust?
Alignment.
Alignment of thoughts. What else is trust?
Consistency.
Consistently working with people and building a rapport is a trust. What else is trust?
Synchronization.
Synchronization is a trust. What else is trust?
Loyalty.
Sorry?
Follow the leader. Loyalty.
Loyalty, sincerity, follow the leader, but have a understanding of questioning each other at regular intervals in order to build the trust. Exchange of thoughts,
Ideas.
two-way communication. Not only speaking बड़बड़ क्या कहते हैं बड़बड़ कर रहे हैं, but not giving a time to listening. Because when you listen to the employee, listen to the subordinate, listen to your subordinates, listen to your partners, things get sorted out and trust becomes more powerful. After trust, second part we talk about is transparency. Transparency in dealing with each other. Transparency is one by one. Transparency is what? Trust and transparency enjoy going together. Trust without transparency does not go in hand. Trust grows, transparency grows and grows. Trust becomes transparent when action meets. Trust becomes transparency when action meets words. And trust and transparency take years to build up, seconds to break. Within few seconds, in case there's a mistrust, you're gone. In any relationship. So trust and transparency are together. Trust and transparency are together on an approach. And the third element is here, which is togetherness. What is togetherness? Growing, coming together is building. A dream which you dream alone is a dream for you, while as a dream together is going to be a reality of life. And the last one, togetherness is finally an essence of power of life. One dream, one team. एक विजन, एक पर्पस तभी आ सकता है जब आपका ट्रस्ट, ट्रांसपेरेंसी, टुगेदरनेस आएगी. अगर ये 3 T's आते हैं इकट्ठे, that leads to transformation. Then you can win any battle. Then we can win any war. Then we can win anything. Transformation. Transformation. So then, then transformation in organizations take place. These groups say that we do cultural transformation. Yesterday I showed you 07092023 L&T. That is a transformation. Yesterday we talked about 4500, 2020. Mission 2025, 15600. Transformations take place. But it took us many years to build trust, transparency, togetherness for that transformation. And it is possible. I will give a live example of 12 किया हक से हमने जिद से करेंगे 15. 12 अभी आपने सभी देखा ना रोमांस में जैसे एल्बम को बहुत पूरी करवाई. This entire concept of communication. हमने कहा सवेरे we built up जहाँ डाल डाल पर सोने की चिड़िया करती है बसेरा, and then we had a song of सिलसिला, एक ख्वाब, देखा एक ख्वाब तेरे सिलसिले में. Brothers Center से मैंने निकल किया. The music is from Brothers Center. सारी जमीनों में सोने की उगाने बसने, तेरे हाथ में कलम है तेरा और खून गरम है तेरा. कोई देश का कोना छूटे ना जब के कदम रख ले. दीवार है जीवी कंगाल है कंधे की चोट है. सिस्टम तेरे साथ है. सर्विस कुछ कर. बड़ा किया हक से हमने जिद से करेंगे 15. What does that mean? Transformation. 12 किया हक से हमने जिद से करेंगे 15. We will move from 12% market share to 15%. The real anthem दिखा दो. The company was 6th in the marketplace. The company name is Sonalika Tractors. Bhavna has worked in that company, but I think when we were doing this intervention, she was not there. Am I right? So these people asked me, get ready. Mr. Mittal has asked me to do program, and they asked that we want to move from 12% market share to 15% market share. मेरे दिमाग में आया 12 की हक से हमने जिद से करेंगे 15, and ये वो एंथम है ना उसका ब्रदर्स एंथम अक्षय, उसकी बेसिस पे हमने फिर बॉलीवुड से ही गाना करवाया, and this became very strong song of Sonalika. And देखिए क्या हमने इंट्रोडक्शन दिखा दूँ These are Mittals. Now you see. This is Raman Mittal. This is his chacha. Entire organization. टूटा ज़माने से हटके अब जाना है सबने हद से गुजर जा तू हद कर ले चाहत है रास्ता ये जान ले जरा entire countrywide slogan बारात से Sonalika Tigers.
तेरी बारी है कमर कस ले, तेरे बस में है सारे मसले, इस देश की सारी जमीनों पे सोने की उगाने मसले, तेरे हाथों में कलम है तेरा और खून गरम है तेरा, कोई देश का कोना छूटे ना तू जम के कदम रख ले,
पहली बार मिस्टर Mittal is dancing with his team. धन्यवाद. What is this? Very powerful communication, entire company through a large scale interactive process. Building trust, creating transparency with all dealers, distributors, sales force, manufacturing people around the country. After transparency, what was the next one? Togetherness. Creating everybody together through a large scale process. And the finally it was. And do you know today, Mahindra is at 47% market share in the country. After Mahindra, there used to be Tafe, there used to be Escorts, there used to be New Holland Tractors, and a couple of more companies. At that point of time, Sonalika was 5th or 6th.
2015.
2013, I think. You joined in 15.
2010, 11, it was at say around 8 or 7
8.
or 8.
2013, it was
It grew
6.
up to right now, I guess it's hopping between 2 and 3.
No, today it is 2nd. It's not hopping between 2 and 3. Today it is clear that after Mahindra's, it is Sonalika. Huh?
Third it is.
Third?
Not second. No.
Tafe and this.
Tafe is always on.
Ah.
They are always on.
Tafe acquired action, otherwise Tafe was not. So in other words, now they have moved from 6th, 7th position to this. So what I Escort, even New Holland. Even New Holland. So what I am trying to talk about in communication, I gave you 2 versions of communication. How bad it was when I was communicating and what did we do? I gave you communication, jahan dal pe, and romancing with destiny. And third one, 12 kiya haq se humne, zid se karenge 15. Entire organization and building trust, transparency, togetherness, leading to transformation. The role of leaders like you is to build trust, transparency, togetherness, leading to transformation in whichever role you are. That will build respectability as a leader in your role. When you come back after lunch, I am going to give you some work to do, because we want that whatever has been done since morning, we want to pick up that learning and present it here. What is the name of your team? LOL. LOL will come back and give us 3 bullets of what did they learn from the communication session of Dr. Manisha Bose. Okay? 3 bullet points. You can discuss while lunch, come back and write 3 bullet points and get ready for presentation. What's your name? Ashirwad will give us 3 bullet points. What did you learn from? What second subject she discussed? What was the second subject she discussed? Emotional intelligence, 3 bullet points. And what is the name of your team? Challenger will come back and give us that DK Bakshi, while she gave a communication, very powerful communication leadership, but DK Bakshi gave us ulta communication, disaster communication. What did you learn not to do in my session of communication? 3 bullet points. Are you okay? Clear? जो मेरा ये कर रहे हैं उनका communication जो नहीं दिया, मैंने दिया communication which was a disaster of communication. So what is the key learning from that disaster of exercise what we do? And this team will give us 3 learnings. What is trust and transparency? Just 3 bullets of trust and transparency. And this team will give us a presentation that what is togetherness leading? It's a connected, leading to transformation. I repeat the instructions. We will break for lunch for 45 minutes. During the lunch and coming back and immediately going on the flip chart, don't sit. Go on the flip chart and put your 3 bullets on communication, presentation by what did you learn, 3 bullet points. And emotional intelligence, 3 bullet points. Communication by DK Bakshi exercise, 3 bullet points. Trust and transparency by your team, and togetherness and transformation. So that when we come back within 15 minutes, we have this presentation ready, but new presenter, new writer, new leader, and new way of connecting, and then after lunch we are that side on. Thank you very much. Wish you all the best.
तो वही आता है थम्स अप और एक नमस्ते बस
काम चल रहा
वो होते हुए काम चल रहा था मेरा
है कम्युनिकेशन
आई एम नॉट इन सोशल नेटवर्किंग फेसबुक में नहीं
कोलोन डाल दो देखिए यहाँ पे वर्ड सिंपल वर्ड सिंपल कोलोन डाल दो
Listen to the presentation and after trust and transparency should have come first. Let's listen to their thoughts. Okay, go ahead.
So before starting my point, I recall late Paramveer Chakra Vijeta, Lieutenant Vikram Batra.
Oh, well.
He said, "Ye dil mange more," and he won the Kargil point.
Yeah.
But tribute to my great Vikram Batra. So the 2 points which was given to us was togetherness and transformation. So togetherness, the team has to trust each other, the number one. Second, we should live together, dream together, work together, achieve together. And this can be done with the help of the emotional alignment.
The beauty is live together, dream together,
Work together, achieve together.
achieve together. You know what I say? Learn together, earn together, smile together, travel together,
Celebrate together.
celebrate together,
Party together, sir. At the same time.
party together, and last one I am saying is cry together.
Yes.
Yes.
You know what I mean by saying cry together? That means whenever there's some misery in the team, at that point of time you should be available to give your shoulder to your team. You may not go for a cocktail, but somebody is in the hospital. भगवान न करे किसी के साथ कोई हादसा हुआ, पेरेंट्स का, किसी चीज का एक्सीडेंट हुआ और भगवान न करे किसी की डेथ हो गई, उस टाइम पे the shoulder is more important. So when we talk about togetherness, together is not cocktail. Together is not in terms of only birthday celebration. Togetherness, that's why I said, earn together, learn together, be together, smile together, travel together, work together. But last one, cry together. Achani?
Yes, sir.
Cry together. That will give you the essence of ownership of leadership with that approach of accountability. That I am accountable for my people, welfare also. I am worried about my people, not for birthday parties only or celebrations only. When there is somebody having a misery, I will give my shoulder. I just want many examples of this as leaders they do it. And keep doing this. That will win you edge even at the union level, even at the any level in the organization. Similarly, do it for your, when we talk about A-class vendors, A-class suppliers, A-class customers. The moment we call it PCP, you create that plan with your A, B, C category, and not necessarily you need to do it with all the categories. You do it with A, your other guy does with B, other guy does with C. Cover everybody. But you take the primary responsibility of covering A, and you take the secondary responsibility of covering B. When you cover your customers, vendors, suppliers, and employees like that, you can't cover all the employees. Keep only a set of employees. This is my primary responsibility. And we have done it in many organizations where I have worked globally. We did that. So you cannot travel, make a phone call, WhatsApp call. In today's environment, it's very easy. And earlier when we used to work only in Delhi and we had everything surrounding factories, That's a very important point I would like. And of course, that's where the emotional alignment comes.
And the transformation is believe in change as a team, we can achieve the unachievable. And as you said, 12 हक से और 15 जिद से.
That's it.
That is what transformation is.
12 किया हक से हमने जिद से करेंगे 15. Vision 2025.
15600.
15600. Impossible becomes possible. Their boss did not agree on 18, 19 July 2018. But now today there is an agreement. They make money. How it's possible when you win the hearts of including unions? He just mentioned about table पे बैठ के union के साथ. The union, if yes, you see some of the videos on Coventry today, there are videos recorded. Even union is talking about Mission 20. करके दिखाना है.
करके दिखाएंगे.
करके दिखाना है.
करके दिखाएंगे.
Slogan. He has visited that factory last time when he was here. करके दिखाना है. That's a slogan. So we create sloganry. 12 किया हक से हमने इज्जत से करेंगे 15. 070920023. It can happen only when you are an authentic leader. You are a genuine leader. अगर दिल में कुछ और अंदर कुछ और बाहर कुछ हिडन एजेंडा है, beautiful. So we will see the trust and transparency, but we started ulta with you, very clear. Togetherness will lead to transformation with a strong trust and transparency.
The main points from the entire conversation.
Yeah.
The topic given to us was trust and transparency. So for trust there should be an understanding, empathy and transparency, of course it's a core element. Relationship with authenticity among team members. Conversation should be clear and it should have the empathy as a core of it. You know, empathy should be the center element. So when we have trust and transparency, the common jointing point gives you the good relation and healthy teams. So I think
Absolutely. Trust builds trust. Trust between husband and wife. Trust between two partners. Trust between the customer and supplier. That by this date, so and so shipment has to arrive according to this specification. And in case it doesn't go according to this specification, return हो जाएगा.
Sir, I translate trust into action.
Absolutely, that's why
And-
trust and transparency are like
Yeah.
this.
So when husband and wife, given an example, if husband keeps saying, asking his wife like, you trust me, she says yes, you trust me, yes, but in actions he doesn't show some transparency, you know, he comes late, he doesn't tell her why he was late, and he gives a call, he's on a call and he's not letting her know to whom he is talking. So I think their trust is, they both have, but transparency is not there. So that's why I have
Walk it
shown
off.
it should go hand to hand.
Where's your bank account? Which company? Which bank?
ICICI.
ICICI Bank. You earn money from the company you work, am I right?
Absolutely.
You keep depositing
Yeah,
and you keep withdrawing.
absolutely.
Your husband is asking, give me 5,000 rupees. Now today's date, we transfer. Normally we go to the ATM, am I right? When you go to the ATM, you take out 5,000. Go to the ATM, you take out 5,000. Go to the ATM, you take out 10,000. I stop depositing. Keep withdrawing ATM. What will happen one day? Huh? No balance.
No balance.
What does that mean?
Trust is deposit.
Huh?
You have to bank the trust. You have to put the trust in the trust.
The more you deposit, the more you withdraw.
Yes.
The moment you stop depositing, I am talking about your relationship.
Yeah.
The moment you stop depositing, you will have, sorry, no balance.
No balance.
It is up to you to keep balancing.
Absolutely.
That is the trust. So whichever bank you are operating, trust is keep depositing more and withdrawing less. The moment you withdraw more than deposit, mistrust. In any relationship, the moment we keep withdrawing only and we don't deposit, the relationship gets destroyed. So, expectations of a relationship is also to be maintained. Maintain a balance. Maintain a balance. That's where it is. Thank you.
Perhaps this is what you can do. It's almost like a feedback session. You can ask your team when you go back, what is it that you need to do so that they trust you more?
Absolutely.
Put it on the flip chart. Let them write it freely. What is it that I need to do so that you trust me more? And in the contrary, they also will listen to you. You can write also, what is it that they have to do so that you trust them?
And make an action plan. And then you make an action plan, start working, what will happen? You will lead to a lot of transformations in your team.
It
Very good.
begins.
Very good.
It begins with the team, and then you can expand it. Okay, because your customers, first customer would be your people.
People.
And then you can expand it outside of the organization. Give it a shot, and I promise you, you will come back with great results.
Absolutely.
Thank you,
And
sir.
that
Thank
is what
you.
has to go into the DNA.
Yes.
All the way.
Their communication what?
That communication should be two ways.
Absolutely.
When we are, it's not exactly a communication, it's a dictation if one person is speaking and the other person is noting down. That's the
Lovely.
PA's job.
Lovely.
That's not how exactly communication works.
Fantastic.
Communication should be clear and concise. Like Pam said, the essence should not be missed. It can be crisp and the essence can be kept intact in it.
And yesterday we used the word clear, concise and effective. The moment you do a clear, concise, the trust, transparency, togetherness will lead to transformation because you have a very solid communication and you have a two-way communication. Just see, this is one way. See, this is two ways. This is two ways. See, one way, it doesn't work. The two way it works. So when it works two ways, then only there's a clap. So give other person an opportunity to address you. I hope you understood what I said, but I'm not sure what you heard is what I said. Okay? I hope you understood what I said, but I'm not sure what you heard is what I said. And again I say one important thing here. Vani Sundar. Vani Sundar, sab kuch sundar. Vani, Zaban. Vani Sundar, sab kuch sundar. सच बोलने से वाणी में बल आता है, ताकत आती है, स्ट्रेंथ आता है। मीठा बोलने से वाणी में यश आता है। यश मीन्स वाणी सुंदर, सब कुछ सुंदर। सच बोलने से when you are speaking truth, तो फिर तो है ही, तो आपकी ताकत आ गई इस वाणी में। एंड जब आप मीठा बोलोगे तब क्या आएगा? यश आएगा। यश मीन्स it is beautification. So I always say, be careful of the words you speak. Be careful of the words you speak. Keep them soft and silky. You never know which one you will have to eat and which one you will have to drop. Okay. So be careful of the words you speak. Keep them soft and silky. You never know which one you will have to eat and which one you will have to drop. फिर कोई आता ना टेलीविजन पर आता इसने ये बोला था, तो मैंने तो ऐसा नहीं बोला था, कोई बोला था तो सामने आता। आजकल तो like I am talking here, video is being recorded. In case I talk something nasty, please understand. And when madam was talking, she said, I am being recorded. She was very careful. I am being recorded. I have to be very careful. And when you are doing sessions in your teams, or in your sales force or your vendors, you don't know who is recording you.
Yes.
This is a different world. He can put you on the social media and say you spoke like this. Be careful. Be careful in speaking. That's the communication. Very good point, yeah.
So the last point would be the pace of communication should be as per the receptor and not the communicator. Because the point is, if I am communicating something, I already know what I want and how it has to be done. I need the other person to whom I am communicating to understand what do I want to be done, how it is to be done, so that the person is able to actually implicate what I want to be done and conclude it, right? नहीं तो फिर आएगा पूछेगा कि आपने ये बोला था.
तभी तो कल आप थे नहीं. I hope you understood what I said, but I am not sure what you heard is what I said. I repeat, I hope you understood what I said, but I am not sure what you heard is what I said. There is a lot of problem in communication, even in understanding. And major issues in any relationship between husband and wife, between the two partners, between the customer and supplier is only communication. आप बैठे हैं, अरे क्या हुआ यार, अरे माल तो बना दी, अरे कस्टमर का फोन आया, कस्टमर का फोन आया, अरे यार क्या कब तक बनेगा, मेरा कस्टमर मेरी जान खा रहा है. And we are not responding to the customer. कस्टमर फोन पे फोन, मेल पे मेल डाल रहा है, अंदर हमारी तैयारी नहीं है. But in case we attend to the customer and आराम से बोले, sir, I am in a major suit. I got make your problem the problem of the customer also, which we get scared. Normally on the shop floors we don't do it. But in case you, sir, I am in a big suit. My DG set on my cooling tower did not work last 12 hours. And shipment is getting delayed by 7 hours. You will have to help me, sir, otherwise I am gone. Oh my God, ऐसी प्रॉब्लम है क्या? चलो फिर मैं क्या कर सकता हूँ आपके लिए? सर आपको ये 7 घंटे का एक्सटेंशन मुझे देना पड़ेगा. पर हम क्या करते हैं? जो ही फोन कस्टमर का फोन. We don't even communicate to customer your problem. And customer becomes irritated. The customer becomes irritated. We lose the customer because you are supplying it at a later stage. Or even issues in the quality of the product. जब मार्केट से माल रिटर्न होता है बड़ी बड़ी कंपनियों में, LG में, सैमसंग में, माल जो वापस आता है, people lose jobs. Do you know this? The production managers, the quality managers, they lose jobs. Because there's somewhere some SOP which has not been worked out. Take control of your SOP, including in communication also. Thank you very much, Bhavna.
And wait, sir, don't go so easily. I mean, we don't want a dictator to go free, do we? If you have a dictator boss like this, what can you do? Anything else?
Anything else?
He is very cool fellow. What he says.
Yes, I know.
Confront.
Confront. How do
No,
you
no,
confront?
not use word confront.
Convey.
Yes. How do you confront? You know, the how
Confront
is
politely.
important. Politely.
You tell them where you are feeling oppressed or yeah.
When he was
Feeling
talking,
over.
when he was talking, he said that I'm going to be a dictator. You cannot question, and nobody questioned. Everybody
You're the
listened to
boss.
him.
Sir, in that
If-
kind of tight environment, you know what happens? Nobody confronts the boss. Then what happens? Office politics start. Besides the his cabin, outside his cabin, office politics will start and it will happen each and everyone, including the boss.
And lobbying
Keeping
start
that-
being done.
चर्चे बन जाते हैं.
Yes.
Keeping that
Sometimes-
in mind, keeping that in mind, you know, as a team, I would say, Mr. Boss, could you please slow down? Yeah. Okay? I'm not aggressive,
Yeah.
but I'm very assertive. Mr. Boss, could you repeat? Because what I don't understand what you say. Mr. Boss, I'm not clear. What is it that you want me to do?
My cup chai.
Please, my
My cup
cup.
chai.
Oh
We do
my
it in
God.
Thailand regularly, but in India, it's an aggression, especially in North India. I'm sorry,
Yeah,
you
you
are
are right.
belong to North India.
You are right.
Now, when you go to East India or South India and Western India, they are better than us.
Right.
हम North, चाहे कोई भी हो,
Absolutely.
चाहे पंजाबी हो, चाहे हरियाणवी हो, यूपी का हो, हमारी जो कम्युनिटी है नॉर्थ इंडिया की, ये पूरी एग्रेशन में है.
हम तो बहुत सॉफ्ट है यार.
I'm extra soft, sir. Extra soft.
Sorry to say, I always say in the corporate world, North India is Gundu Akhada. Gundu समझते हो?
Can I just add
Akhada.
something? You know, I read somewhere that if you want to understand the people of the country, observe their traffic.
In Thailand, no one honks. आपको horn कभी सुनाई नहीं देता. Bangalore, Bombay. I'm from Mumbai. Mumbai और Bangkok की traffic समान है, but यहाँ पे दिल्ली में, बॉम्बे में भी बहुत honk है, but दिल्ली में ज़्यादा है. पहले से ही anticipation में कि कोई सामने ना आ जाए, honk में जाना शुरू करते हैं. हाँ, but in Thailand, bumper to bumper traffic, not a single horn you will hear. That is the kind of peace they have. And you know, when they say they are Buddhist, I see them practicing Buddhism. Even in the toilet queue, if you're in a queue, it's so this, they just say, would you like to go first? And we say, no, you go. मतलब इतने सभ्य लोग हैं, it's just amazing.
And it's not only in Thailand, it's in Singapore, it's in Malaysia, it's in Indonesia. It is, leave India. I am at my home in Noida house. She's calling me from Bangkok. She says, where are you? I said, I am at home. She said, why is honking? Street में भी honking हो रही है. Because it's normal here. Now look at my driver, who is driving my Indian car. He never honks. He never crosses any red light. Never. He is Indian. He is from Noida. So it is how you discipline the person. He cannot honk. I took one of the couple with me from here to Hardwar. I drove myself. As far as December. Entire up to Hardwar and back, I drove myself. I never honked. She got mad. She said, my God, how do you run the car without even a single honk? Because you are used to it. ये तो कुछ नहीं है. Now Canada में आपको ड्राइव करें ना, अगर वो बंदा उसको वॉक करना है, क्रॉस करना है, अगर आपने थोड़ा सा नहीं किया और अगर उसने हॉस्पिटल में गया, हार्ट अटैक हुआ, then you are responsible for his heart attack. Please understand. In Thailand में हम क्या करते जब ऐसे क्रॉस करते हैं हम सारे, उसको हम इज्जत देते हैं. मेरी कोई लेडी उसे बोल रही थी नोएडा में व्यवस्था है, कहती आप हॉर्न क्यों नहीं बजाते? मैंने कहा मैं हॉर्न नहीं बजाता, और हॉर्न बजाना मैं रुक जाऊंगी. मैंने कहा नहीं आप चलिए, मैं हॉर्न नहीं बजाता.
Actually, it's very interesting. In South East in Delhi, exercise was done by Delhi Traffic Police, where they had a slogan was क्योंकि कुत्ता भी बिना वजह नहीं भौंकता है. They tried that activity. They gave up in 2 hours. Nobody has an idea that using high beam or honking is actually illegal in certain places. Ethics छोड़ दीजिए, illegal है ये भी नहीं पता है. So their education and all these things, discipline, दोनों चीज़ आ जाती है.
We were on the highway of this Hapur road. Not Brown was staying with me, and you know trucks when they do it in India. Mark said, "What happened?" What's going on? I said, "He is enjoying." He said, "But why is he enjoying?" So हम गुड़गांव से नोएडा पहुंचे. ट्रैफिक इतना था 4 घंटे. रास्ते में मैंने उसको बोला, because in India we don't have very good gasoline stations where you can go washroom. Very bad station. Now highways have good, but it's not possible in New Delhi, NCR. It's not that. Anyhow, finally when we reached to the hotel, he immediately in the lobby went to the washroom and came out, and his wife was calling. He says, "Mary, I thought I am going to die today." I swear he told me. And since that day he has never come to India. Bangkok तक आता है, India नहीं
आपने तो डरा दे उसको.
डर गया. Because that is what our mindset is. So let's move forward.
Opportunity.
Adaptability.
So the topic given to our team is the emotional intelligence on the topic that was covered by Manisha ma'am. And the emotional intelligence will cover at least 4 aspects in that presentation. The first is self-awareness, that is self-evaluation. We have to evaluate as to how we respond to people and what should be our response. Then there has to be self-management, the reaction to the response. Actually, ABC is the team that we have been listening in a lot of management classes. Action, the cause, the belief system and the action. So maybe we have to spruce up our belief system. That's not always possible. But then we can curate our response. Then coming to the social awareness, these are the 4 things that I learned. I mean, we have been listening about lot of religions, lot of places, but when it comes in these capsules, maybe it remains etched in the memory. Maitri, Karuna, Mudit, Upeksha. Upeksha is like what do you call detachment.
Oh,
Detachment.
Balance.
Balance.
It's a balance.
Yeah, detachment and attached detachment. There are something that has been told. Maitri important. Karuna has to be empathic. And Mudit, you have to be happy. If you are happy, the word comes back happy to you. And coming to the relationship management, relationship management is a big word, big area. But those 3 small capsules that Madam has given, the mindfulness and the meditation and the silence. I know the power of silence. There are a lot of Babas who do practice Maun. Whether they practice it in reality or they just practice it by placing placards that they are communicating through placards. But the essence of the communication is that if you can practice Maun, it is fantastic. It will help in the relationship management.
oh wow.
Thank you.
Fantastic. From you, when we pick up from you, my team is here, and my team can also say that, Manisha used the word, it's very difficult to work with this man. Am I right? She used this word. And it's very
No,
difficult.
I used it's not easy to work with.
Whatever. It's not easy to work.
It's again how you break it.
Again I'm saying, it's the fact, it's the fact. It's very difficult to work with me. I am a very tough taskmaster.
No, he's not tough taskmaster.
But because I am goal oriented, I am mission oriented. इनको पता है ये HR manager है, इनकी तो मैंने दिजान की है पिछले 5 साल में, am I right?
Yes.
I have literally changed his entire concept of HR management.
हमारे वहाँ से तीनों लेवल को एसोसिएट्स, स्टाफ, मैनेजर्स, इवन मालिकों को एक साथ अलग अलग करके फिर इकट्ठा करके इस लेवल पे ला दिया कि आज सब लोग इतने मोटिवेटेड हैं कि काम कहने की ज़रूरत नहीं पड़ती। इवन एसोसिएट्स को मटेरियल नहीं मिलता तो वो एक दिन पहले आते हैं, सर कल का माल का क्या करना अगर बाई चांस कम होता है तो।
And एसोसिएट्स लाला को कैसे देखते थे और लाला एसोसिएट को कैसे देखता था, टोटल चेंज है। आज भी वहाँ टाउन हॉल मीटिंग है। लाला जी टाउन हॉल मीटिंग नहीं कर सकते थे, आज लाला जी चौड़ा होकर टाउन हॉल मीटिंग करते हैं। और अब हमने एक और कॉन्सेप्ट किया कि लाला जी टाउन हॉल मीटिंग नहीं करेंगे, अब सारे सुपरवाइजर्स एंड वर्कर्स एंड एसोसिएट्स, हम वर्कर नहीं बोलते, एसोसिएट्स टाउन हॉल मीटिंग करेंगे। दैट्स द कॉन्सेप्ट। ये क्या है? दिस इज अगेन यू हैव बिल्ट दैट काइंड ऑफ कम्युनिकेशन स्ट्रेटजी, टोटल कम्युनिकेशन चेंज करते हैं। और जो हमें ये इनके लाला जी जो है उनको मैं सामने बोलता हूँ, कैसे बोल रहा हूँ, बोलो कैसे बोल रहा हूँ?
बोलते हैं आप, मैं जो बोल रहा हूँ मुझे करने दो, आप बीच में नहीं आओगे।
क्या
जो कर रहा हूँ मुझे करने दो।
मैं कौन हूँ? मैं HR डायरेक्टर भी नहीं हूँ उस कंपनी का, आई एम एन एक्सटर्नल कंसल्टेंट। और मैं उनको कहता हूँ बाबना जी यू विल नॉट डू एनीथिंग, ऐसे बोलता हूँ मैं। इट इज मी व्हाट आई हैव टेकन अ डिसीजन एंड आई विल शो यू द रिजल्ट। एम आई राइट?
राइट।
Exactly the same thing. And he says, whatever DK Bakshi decides in the final, and we give result.
ये हुआ सर चाय पे चर्चा के बाद तो बहुत ही ज़्यादा इफेक्टिव हो गया। हम तो सोचते थे मोदी जी को देख के शायद आप चाय की चर्चा चालू की है, लेकिन एक वीडियो मैंने देखी आपकी, मेरे ख्याल से 15 या 18 साल पुरानी, तब से आप चाय पे चर्चा करते हैं।
मोदी जी ने चाय पे, मोदी सब हो गया ना इस देश में, तो मोदी ही सब कुछ हो गया। चाय पे चर्चा, जब लोग चाय पे चर्चा की बात करते हैं तो एक दिन मेरे को निकालना पड़ा, पीछे उन दिनों लगते थे वो बैनर,
डेट लिखी आ रही थी
19 नवंबर 1997, चाय पे चर्चा 1997। तब से मैं चाय पे चर्चा करता हूँ। हम आज मोदी जी को बताएंगे कि DK बख्शी कहते हैं पागल है, ये मेरा चाय पे चर्चा। मैं सही बता रहा हूँ, मेरी चाय पे चर्चा 1997 की, मिस्टर सिद्दीकी is a witness. He came on that event.
Sir, and after that we had in Maruti coffee with HR.
कॉफी भी HR हो गया मारुति। So
99 में पिज्जा मीट कर
90 पिज्जा मीट करते, LG पे पिज्जा मीट करते थे डॉक्टर वर्मा। ये डॉक्टर वर्मा को बुला के
3 महीने में एक बार पिज्जा।
97 में मैंने चाय पे चर्चा, इवन आपके सुझाव, ये में खड़ा होता था, आपके सुझाव होता था। मेरा नाम ही था आपका सुझाव.
Even in Gale, I remember in 97 or 98, our chairman used to call the youngsters for tea. And I think that would have been an inspiration.
I'm just saying, I was challenged by one of the ladies, and she's a director of Google, on the online. What are you talking about VUCA, VUCA? After change kara vision, unknown, unheard, unbelievable, and capability and alignment. I don't believe. जो ही ऑनलाइन खत्म हुआ मैं ढूंढा वो यूट्यूब और पीछे बोर्ड लिखा हुआ था DK बख्शी कीनोट स्पीकर ऑन VUCA of 2018 एंड मैं वहाँ बोल रहा हूँ नो मोर वोलेटाइल इट इज विजन नो मोर अनसर्टन पीछे बोर्ड लगा हुआ है एंड देन शी apologized. She is the director of Google at New York. She said I have seen this video. पीछे मेरे फोटो आप ये क्यों देखते हैं आप कैमरा फोटो सारा मेरा 25-30 सालों से हमेशा साथ रहता था जब मैं नौकरी भी करता था जिसके बगैर मैं चलता नहीं था. These are very important. उन दिनों सोशल मीडिया नहीं था. आज भी मेरे पास प्रिंटेड फोटोग्राफ्स हैं. अगर वो तेजेंद्र खाना की बात करें थी ना फर्स्ट अवार्ड विच आई हैव वन एज द बेस्ट स्पीकर ऑफ दिल्ली यूनिवर्सिटी was 1994 given by Tejinder Khanna. I was telling her that Tejinder Khanna at that time was left alone. So all this is to be recorded. So what I am trying to say is when he is talking about communication, it's very important to express, not necessarily to impress, but you are rightly saying is the byproduct of expression and impression. Yes, sir.
So words are two-edged swords. We all have heard that. So curved communication helps us not to eat our words, right? So there's delivery of the message is very important, very crucial. How you say it is really important. So curved communications helps us to deliver our message in a polite manner.
I like that curve.
Third is so you trigger others also, right? You get triggered by someone and you trigger someone else also. So I think it's really crucial before you try to find out what other is doing to trigger you. You first find out what you are doing to trigger them.
Because you anyway cannot control others.
हर्ष जरा वो रस लगा दे रीस के लाभ इसी के साथ खड़े खड़े दिखाऊंगा वो पीछे जाना हाँ चलिए.
And storytelling, बचपन से हम लोग सारी स्टोरी सुनते आए हैं. So I think that is in our DNA. And
because the point is that अगर किसी को डेटा देते हैं ना जैसे सर भी बोलते हैं कि builds a माहौल. Point is अगर वो सुनने में इंटरेस्टिंग नहीं लगता तो डेटा दो कुछ भी दो.
वो चलेगा नहीं.
You have to humanize it.
You have to humanize it. That's what she said. याद है ना बचपन की स्टोरी. And when he was looking at the river, he saw another greedy dog. His हड्डी का टुकड़ा fell down. This was a greedy dog story.
Yes.
So storytelling was from our grandmother. So in the corporate, when you are teaching people and working with people, storytelling. Humanize your communication, you are saying. Am I right? Humanize your communication. That is the power of storytelling. So please learn the art of storytelling to your teams. And storytelling can be good for your own kids, for your own family. Because today you are not into joint families. Today families are smaller families. When I get an opportunity, I keep talking to my sister. Oh Dad, come on. आजकल भाई अंग्रेजी हमारा हिंदुस्तानी बच्चे तो अंग्रेजी बच्चे बन गए ना. अब जो 18-20 साल से देश से बाहर है, oh come on Dad, not always. Come on, let's discuss something else, you know. Because world has changed. But then how you bring them back to your values is very important. The balance. Communication is how do you humanize, how do you create.
And
Very
one
big.
thing I would like to add,
Yeah,
especially when it was about emotional intelligence, you know, it is not about knowing what I said. It's about being what I said. ये जो knowing से being, ये आपको खुद पार करना है. ये सब बहुत अच्छी बातें हैं, लेकिन वो अगर आप उसको अनुभव नहीं करेंगे, वो सिर्फ श्रुति रह जाएगी. है ना? अभी हमने श्रुति की सुना, ये वैदिक ट्रेडिशन है, there are 3 ways to acquire knowledge, श्रुति, यति एंड अनुभव। तो अभी आप श्रुति में हैं, अभी आपने बोल दिया, आपको बहुत अच्छा लगा, तो वो आपका यति है। पर अनुभव जब तक आप अपने आप पे नहीं काम करेंगे, ये सब कुछ बकवास हो जाएगा। जो ये बोल रहे हैं 2 दिन से, जो मैंने कहा, it will all be only knowing and not being. So that is, वो आपकी जर्नी है। एंड प्लीज यू आर योर ओन हीरो। हम स्टोरी की बात कर रहे हैं, आप अपने हीरो हैं, औरतें अपनी शीरो हैं। हम अपनी स्टोरी बनाएंगे, and it's in our hand. He cannot dictate my story. He can just be a part of my story. But I am the hero of my story and how I move ahead with my story, right? So ये जो सफर है, आप लोग प्लीज ये जर्नी जो आपने सीखा है, स्पेशली ऑन इमोशनल, यू विल सी इफ यू आर बैलेंस्ड इन योर इमोशनल इंटेलिजेंस, सब कुछ बैलेंस हो जाएगा। दैट इज, आई एम टेलिंग यू एक्सपीरियंस।
Before we move that side, can you look at this? RUST. Reskill, upskill, special skill, transformative skill. The world today is so tough. In case you are not reskilling yourself, in case you are not upskilling yourself, in case you are not creating a special skill in yourself, in case you are not creating a ऊपर मैंने इसको किया था total, कहाँ गया यार, ट्रस्ट करो, total reskill, upskill, special skill, transformative skill. So I am saying reskill is realizing and owning responsibility. Upskill is understand challenges and become a problem solver. Special skill is streamline, collaborate across teams and establish network. And transformative skill, turn friendships into learning journeys. Yesterday we talked about 3 Buddhas. Don't forget about it, because this is going to be useful for 3 eyes of Buddhas. First eye was what? Control management. Second eye was what? And third was what? Breakthrough management. So in case the journey of leadership you have to drive like that. Let's go behind, let's play 2 games. Fast and accurate. You have to round.
Yes, there's only one line. Teams. So please count 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and remember your number, starting from Yusuf.
1,
2, 3, 1,
2,
3,
1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1.
Achan, Manisha Bose.
1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3.
1, 2. Anyone left? No? Okay. Team number 1 in that corner. Team number 2 here, please. Team number 2, form a circle. And team number 3, form a circle. Okay? Remember your friends in your team. Okay? 2 and 3, remember who is in your team. Alright, please come and see what they are doing, because you're going to be doing the same thing. Okay? Please come and observe. In the outer circle, observe. Okay? To someone who is on his right. And that's what you have to do. Just pass the ball to him. What do you do?
Pass the ball to the right. He's right.
Yeah, he's right. Okay? Yeah. And then you pass the ball to her. Let's practice. Done. Finish. Okay? Easy, huh? Very good. Easy, huh? Advice? Any advice? I hope all of you are listening, okay? Your task is to pass the ball. That's all you have to do. And your task, pay attention, focus, and you will get it right. 2 balls is easy, right? Yeah, let's make it 4.
देख आगे कुछ नहीं
ये फेंकेगा तब ये खाली हुआ तब देना
वो मेरे
थोड़ा सा
That's kind of okay. Focus on unless we make a contact next.
Perfect. Shall we start? Yes. Now we are making sense.
That's it.
Good. Good. बहुत बढ़िया. सर बहुत अपने पार्टनर को
लाइए सर.
Drawing.
बड़ा पाव. बड़ा पाव.
Drawing. Drawing.
Okay.
हमारी तीनों का सही रहा.
Wonderful. बहुत बढ़िया.
Right.
We are making sense.
Right. Right.
Good. Okay. See.
Sir,
final.
Right.
Sit down. Yes.
Right.
Good. Okay, sir.
Right. This is all right, attention.
Everybody, attention please.
Attention.
Yes.
The winning team will get 1,000 rupees. You know, that would be for your coffee.
ये हमारे.
Okay? Now, here is the rule. You will have to pass the 4-ball, and when the 4-ball come to the initiator, back to the person who started it, that is a completion of that round. Okay? And then he'll go, hey! Okay? You can call him the leader of the team. All right? He'll go, hey! All right? The winner, the second team, will get 1 point. And the team that comes last will get 0 point. There are 3 teams here. We are going to play it all together 5 rounds. After the 5 rounds, the winner will be declared. My decision would be final, no dispute. Oh yes, definitely. There will be a winner.
Right.
Okay, so half. So be very careful. Okay, are we ready?
Yes.
You do one more thing.
One
No, don't worry. I'm looking. And I'm getting the head. Yeah.
One question. One question. If suddenly the ball gets dropped, how do you do that?
Pick it up.
Pick it up and start.
When the moment you drop the ball, you are already behind.
Yes.
You see? So you are penalized by itself. You are losing time. Any other question? Attention! Would you like to practice or you want to start right away?
Yes.
They draw.
How's it going?
कुछ यहाँ
पांच राउंड है, कोई बात नहीं है। One.
Drawing.
One and a half.
You know, I am unfair. Yes. But my decisions are final.
You're the boss.
Yes.
Come on. Yes.
3, 2, 1.
Come on.
Oh, one boy.
Wait. 1, go.
Sir, we have one shot, so that is why personal.
So do we get extra marks for it?
One, go. Now we have to give them one round because you are 8 and they are 10.
We welcome.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. In one single line. Okay, follow me. All right?
बहुत जोर लगाए था। अरे भैया लगाए
Yes, sir. Wait, please. Thank you.
And where is Hash? Hash?
Please come. My team has to come.
Yes. You know what?
We would like them to join us.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to call now. Team number 2, please.
500 rupees.
500 only. Only 500.
He should be the only one.
Yes, only one. They deserve for this one. I will see
आप ये सब लोग सर सामने ये देखिए यस वेट थैंक यू सर
Good sir, good.
Thank you sir.
Thank you. Short, okay? Yeah. So maybe we be in the circle. Yeah. Right. We be in the circle. एक ओंकार सतनाम करता निर्भाव निर्वैर काल मूरत जुगनी सैभा. Please, all the gods of the world, bless our team so that we all are happy, healthy, wealthy, strong, kind, compassionate, and most importantly, we would like to become greater than the greatest leaders. So please bless us always and forever.
Thank you for your blessing. God bless.
And now what you can do is talk to each other within your team. Team 1, 2, 3. What have you learned from these activities? Very quickly.
Yes.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Quick.
Let's run there.
चलो team 2. Team 3 अपनी जगह.
Don't give up.
Hooray! Let's carry on with the celebration with coffee or tea.
Yeah. When we come back with the next 10 minutes from the coffee tea, we have visitors, panelists already here. Please get ready with one. Since yesterday morning till now, whether trust, rust, three eyes of Buddha, Kiran Bedi, responsibility, accountability, spread. One learning from each so that they know what has been covered. Okay? And then we will go to the panel decision. 10 minutes from now, please come back. Thank Leaders, gurus we call it. And we talk about light of leadership in our program. And they are going to be complementing and adding value to our DNA of leadership, which is a powerful program of Global Talent Company. And may I request Mr. S.Y. Siddiqui to please take the stage. Dr. Siddiqui, yes, Dr. May I request General A.K. Singh to please take the stage. May I request Dr. Asha Badarkar to be on the stage. And may I request Mr. K.S. Bakshi to be on the stage. Now, coming to the may I request in Narula, on behalf of Global, with this small please welcome Dr. Mr. K.S. Bakshi. Sanjeev is on the way.
Excuse me.
Yeah, video picture, this is very important.
Wait. Yeah. Wait.
We are waiting our turn to be photographed.
Thank you. Wait, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am.
Thanks.
Our another panelist, and he should be on the way and joining us. I know that most of you know about such great people. Mr. Siddiqui is a well-known name in the list of global talent and our personal relationship. Thank you very much, Siddiqui, for being here. General A.K. Singh, no introduction, well-known name. Not only the Army General, along with the Army General, finally he became the governor of the state called Daman and Diu, and then the Puducherry. Am I right? In fact, Kiran Bedi took over from you. Am I right? When she became the governor of, Puducherry. The women power here, Dr. Asha Badarkar, again well known. a special distinguished professor right now at IMI. And as we were discussing yesterday about Padma Shri Dr. Pritam Singh, all of them are very closely associated with Padma Shri Pritam Singh, and she is the one who has written 8 books with Padma Shri Dr. Pritam Singh. And she is the well-known organizational behavior specialist of the country, and she was on the board of directors of Punjab National Bank also. And our another great friend, Hamna Bakshi, K.S. Bakshi, who is again well known in the country and who has established, who is right now the head of human resources with Interglobe. So when you see this Novotels and which other hotel is there? Ibis Hotels, as well as Indigo Airline. So he is the big human resource boss of that Interglobe company. Welcome, sir. I will be handing over. Keep the mic ready, keep the mic ready, keep the mic ready. But before doing that, we started yesterday morning with our lighting the candles, taking an oath to be the global Indian leader with power of positivity, power of passion, power of perseverance, power of persistence, the power of power, the power of partnership, the power of pride. And then we kept moving and working on 3 eyes of Buddha, the control management, to the incremental management, and finally to the breakthrough management. We did talk about many things yesterday. Dr. Kiran Bedi came, she talked about family, she talked about the leadership, and we had Dr. Mohapatra from Indian Oil. He gave thought on the visioning. Since yesterday, along with In Narula and Dr. Manisha Bose, we kept talking today about mindfulness, communication, power of having the silence, and we were just doing exercise. So many things have been talked about. Now, before I request Mr. Siddiqui to take over, I am quickly taking a recap, and one key message which you have got, give the mic, which you have got, one key short message so that they know. Here's the mic.
The vision of a leader must be very, very clear, whether it is workplace or it is home.
Okay, next one. Quick one.
So, if the takeaways with self-evaluation and getting feedback from peers as well as subordinates, so that we can improve our shortcomings.
Feedback. Very important in leadership. Next.
Leaders should be passionate about their jobs, and they should take along with them their subordinates, and also they should communicate clearly with their
Communicate, clear, concise, effective communication. Yeah, next.
Accountability not only means that the buck stops here, but it also means the responsibility or the onus for solution also starts from here.
Yeah. So we had a good differentiation between responsibility, accountability, and ownership. Next.
Hunger for excellence is crucial.
Absolutely. Crucial. At any stage, in a volatile opportunity, what we have.
building trust.
Trust, transparency, togetherness leads to transformation. And as I said, Dr. Asha Padarkar was online with me during the COVID when she started trust, transparency, togetherness. And then I took it forward, leading to transformation. And exactly 4 T's we have been building under DNA of leadership. Yeah, next.
Leading self before leading the team centrally. Lead by an example.
Lead by example. Yeah, next.
Growth along with ethic is the key to progress.
Beautiful. Next.
3 A's: agility, adaptability, alignment.
Alignment, agility, and adaptability. Next.
You have to take the ownership of the target of the team.
Ownership with the target of the team. Next.
Power to serve and value to others.
Power to serve and value to others. Yes, beautiful.
The journey from reaction to the response is important, and that must be covered.
From reaction to response, very beautifully. Next.
Be fearless.
Fearless. We talked about fearless a lot. We discussed a lot.
Powerful, healthy, and proper communication.
Proper communication. Clear, concise, and effective communication. Yeah.
Power of fatherhood.
Power of pagalpan, passion. Romancing with your destiny. Am I right? Okay.
Communication is the key to leadership. That's what we learned. If you're communicating in the right manner, you would be able to lead the team in the right manner.
Absolutely, Bhavna. Thank you so much. Next. Believe in yourself as a leader, then you can start believing in others. Next.
Nurturing of the team members is equally important.
Nurturing your team members is important. Next.
Transparency in the team members.
Transparency in the team members.
Passion for performance.
Passion for performance.
5 pillars of leadership: vision, communication, behavior, transformation, and sustainability.
Absolutely. Leading to sustainable approach. Very good.
Prompt decision making with effective communication.
Prompt decision making with effective communication. Next.
Living together, celebrating together, and most important, crying together.
Crying together. We said not only earning, learning, working, but do you give shoulder to the team? And somebody gave an example of Mr. Siddiqui. Somebody from the Maruti gave an example of Mr. Siddiqui. You gave the example that how he goes on the shop floor and he addresses the person by the name. You gave that example. Very good. Give a big round of applause.
Listen to your subordinates and take feedback from them, and also upskill in ownership.
Yeah, we did talk about listening skills, listening in communication because very important, and we did talk about RUST, reskill, upskill, special skill, and transformative skills. So we talked about reskill, upskill as well.
My takeaway is spiritual leadership means leadership with empathy and emotional alignment within the teams.
Emotional alignment and empathy within the team.
It is not only to lead the team, it is also important to create the leaders.
Create the leaders. Next.
Protect the family. Protect family.
Protect the family. For sure, very important.
Never fear from doing the right.
Fearless leadership. You know, we talked about fearless governance. Similarly, fearless leadership at an organization, corporate organization.
Trust your team members.
Trust, trust, trust. Siddiqui Sahab, now it's all yours, and Sanjeev joins, and then we can have whatever we can start your proceedings. And here is,
please pardon my saying so, leadership is a term very casually used, very badly misused, and mostly ignored and misunderstood by all of us in corporates and in real life and kind of experience which we have. At times it is very challenging in my thinking to be a leader. And life will ask very tough questions, will test the character, the content, where perhaps leadership credibility rests. Whenever I am asked to talk on any such subject, I only look at one context, that currently what exactly is the context in terms of the entire external business environment, where perhaps this word leadership will get redefined. First thing which I look at today, after just retiring from Maruti in July, is that still there is a lot of turbulence, volatility in the business environment. Nothing is certain. We came out of COVID with a lot of kind of very unprecedented crisis, and we landed into this geopolitical stuff of Ukraine and Russia, and Maruti got into a big problem of supply chain, you know, and all the kind of energy prices going up in UK and other countries, Europe, facing problems, and so something is happening somewhere, but we all are getting impacted in some way or the other. And then this China relationship, I think almost all of us were forced to think in Maruti that we try to not globalize, but reverse globalize. That we pick up all our sources from China and bring them either to Europe, to Japan or to India. So another exercise started of reverse globalization, another leadership challenge. You all must be aware that perhaps microchip shortage created a big queue of waiting of cars. In our case, today Ertiga is required to be, maybe Ertiga CNG is 1.5 years waiting. Quite amazing. That's the kind of impact which comes in. So when we look at this turbulence, volatility may be a kind of issue which is also creating a kind of a impression of recession in US. So Meta or when we look at Google or Microsoft, they started downsizing 8-9 months back. Suddenly out of the blue, Amazon, everybody, Microsoft, they all were downsizing people. LinkedIn started downsizing just, I think, yesterday, day before yesterday. So this is the kind of volatility we are looking at. We are also looking at this digital disruption, or you call it a digital boom. So perhaps this very big opportunity to get into speed, maybe get into reach, transparency, measurement, maybe analysis and forecasting. But there's also this problem of that you get too high tech and then perhaps you'll be getting too low on personal touch. That's the kind of problem which is being seen at this point of time. We are also looking at maybe post-COVID, a very big shift in employee wellness as a priority for top leadership, which was not in the earlier years, if I remember correctly. And we are looking at this environment concern, this green energy, and we are negotiating this new location in Sonipat for Maruti for 1,000 acres for the next plant, which the work has already started now, maybe 1 year back. And one condition which came from Suzuki Japan is Suzuki negotiates with the Haryana government for green energy. And when I discussed with the topmost officials in the Haryana government, they were not sure whether they can supply us green energy. We wanted Kharkhoda to be a completely environment friendly plant modern plant of Maruti for 1 million cars capacity. One. There is another discussion at our board level where perhaps we have identified roughly about a year back 4 major global mega trends. Very important for us to look at in whichever company, whichever corporate, whichever sector we are operating. First is that all the last 20 years, 25 years I have seen process has been the heavy part of kind of corporate language. We are very business process based. Now process is going out, purpose is taking over. So purpose over process is the shift in leadership paradigm. Big way. And to a great extent perhaps shared goal or shared objective or shared purpose, perhaps where the leaders will focus in bringing, for example in case of Maruti, maybe overall 35,000-40,000 people in one direction, one vector. And we are also looking at maybe successful leaders are going to leave out command and control kind of style. And they are going to bring people together through this shared goal. And maybe we are also going to look at the concept of servant leadership, leadership from the back. Second mega trend which we have observed is perhaps reskilling for the future. And there is this concept of continuous learning. So you reskill, you become capable for some time, then again there is a need for you to de-learn and then upskill. So perhaps in the past 30-40 years what I have seen is talent was critical, but now talent will get outdated. Learning capacity will become more critical than talent. If I had talent, people valued me in industry, no longer. If I have the learning capacity, I can keep on learning new things, adapt and adopt. I think that person will be more in demand in the industry. We are also looking at maybe the third global mega trend, which is don't stand still. Just like treadmill, you keep on, running fast, walking fast, and you are maintaining your balance. The moment you stop, machine is running and you will fall. When we are looking at this transformation, need for change, flexibility, I think we are going to look at leading organizations will perhaps in a state of continual transformation, need for continuous change. And maybe they will also look at agility and they will look at scalability as 2 different variables for success. Somewhere, perhaps when we look at COVID and when we look at all this turbulence, we are feeling this need for having different workplace models. Maruti also we have started 15% flexibility for work from home. In that case, culture will get challenged. Engagement will get challenged. So it has to be realigned. Leaders will have to have responsibility to realign the culture every time. Last is the 4th mega trend, and then I'll stop and then I'll perhaps look at some of my eminent panelists here to share their views, is a thing which is very close to my heart. Capability to selectively delete the past. Capability to selectively delete the past. And what we do, कि अगर वो बाजार से कुछ सामान लेके आते हैं उसमें जो पन्नी मिलती है थैली, उसको भी रख लेते हैं संभाल के कि बच्चों के दहेज में कहीं काम आ जाएगा नहीं. Deleting the past तो दूर की बात है. We are actually very happy, very comfortable in living in the past. Selectively deleting the past is creating space for new ideas. And somewhere there is a Japanese story to really highlight this particular point. One concept in Japan is to use Zen masters in Japan, wise men, priests, corporate priests. And one CEO was approaching one Zen master for an appointment. But he was not getting this appointment at all. 2 months, 3 months, 4 months, then he made some reference, email, letter, but he was not getting a response. Finally, through some reference, he got an appointment after 6 months from this priest. So he went and met him. So in Japan, they normally sit on the carpet with a small table, so there is no sofa set, no chairs and all that stuff. This guy was sitting in the guest seat, and this priest went inside, brought in a kettle and 2 cups, Japanese tea, and started pouring in his cup. The cup got filled, and then it started filling on the saucer. Saucer got filled, then on the table and the carpet. Obviously, the visiting CEO got completely bewildered. Sir, what are you doing? He says, your head is just like this cup, completely filled with muck, completely filled with past. Therefore, I was not giving you this time. There is no point in meeting you. You go back. You first do meditation and clear your muck. Come with little empty space, then I'll talk to you something. What is the future? What is next? That one story signifies this sheer capability in leadership to be able to selectively delete the past. With this, maybe rest I'll come to you later on, but maybe starting with Dr. Bhandarkar, maybe request 5-7 minutes of your thought process, then we start taking questions from you, and then I'll conclude. My very best.
Much of research, so much of training, and so much of consulting and things like that, and lots to convey in the leadership roles that one has also played, and it's a continuous, unending journey to become a better and better leader. That's number one thing I wanted to share. Whether it is corporate, whether it is academia or anywhere else, or an NGO, when you're playing a leadership role, the journey is endless. Because no matter what, our habits, our mindsets are always interfering with what is the right thing to do. So, number one, I want to highlight that it's about managing yourself and refining how you do it. And the reason why I highlight managing ourselves is because we are not working in a vacuum. We are working with people. And we all have our wonderful, how do I put it? When you put 2-3 entities together in a small space, there is bound to be friction, right? It's a normal human process. How to manage that friction, how to sidestep the friction sometimes, and how to calm yourself down, these become very real challenges every day, because today it's all about team working. The higher you go, the greater the challenges of working together. In all these things, you ask one basic question. Don't you think we have to build some kind of a mutual understanding among ourselves? How to build that understanding? So, whoever's playing leadership roles or aspires to play leadership roles, by the way, please stop me as soon as I finish.
Yeah.
7 minutes if I'm exceeding.
Yeah.
So, whoever's playing these leadership roles, they have to make special efforts to influence others. Now, when we say influence others, leadership is considered to be an influence process. That is, influencing people to reach a goal. Now, to influence people, it sounds like a single phrase, but you need to inspire them. You need to connect with them. You need to empathize with them. You have to treat them like your family. Okay? These are the reasons why people will accept you. Because just because you're in a position, when you are exercising only your positional authority, what you get is compliance. Which means people will do to the dotted line and not stretch themselves beyond that. And in reality, Those job descriptions are just a guideline. If you have not built or if you have not gone beyond positional leadership to establish the one-to-one human connect, the level to which people are going to cooperate, collaborate and stretch themselves beyond a point will depend upon the type of relationships you have built. So the question to each one of us is, have I built that relationship? Have I connected with my people in such a way that they will metaphorically die for me? Metaphorically, die for me. That is, go to any extent to support me. So that means leadership is also a type of relationship. Okay, and relationship is two-way. When we say two-way, that means you have also to give. Perhaps give a little more to get something in exchange. So that's the other aspect I want to highlight about connecting with people, influencing people, because what is your power as a leader? The company gives the salary, the company gives the incentives. आप क्या दे रहे हो? That is only your personal connect that you can give them, appreciation that you can give them, empathy that you can give them, recognition that you can give them. So many of the intangible things which are very important in relationship building. So this is the second major aspect I want to highlight. Third thing is how you handle your workplace challenges. For that, so far we were talking about self-management, people management, and now I'm talking about how you handle workplace challenges. People respect you for what things? Solve the problem. Be proactive. Take the lead. These are all in terms of work challenges. I think I would also like to highlight here, face the challenges. Yeah, not run away from challenges or displace it to somebody else. And here I would also like to emphasize what Siddiqui-san has mentioned. He talked about the empty cup in the mind, so that there is continuous new learning. So your learning agility also comes in this aspect. And the last one, for the time being, I want to highlight managing your environment. And in the environment, I put the people environment and the context. Because the way context is dynamically changing and getting disrupted, it means that no more is it the era when it is coming from top down. Kya karna hai, kya nahi karna hai. Every level you are getting challenged because response has to be pretty fast. You have to size up the environment. So at your level, every leader at every level has to do this and have to have an understanding of this. Other aspect is, I said, managing yourself, not only your subordinates, but more importantly, or I would say, let me correct myself, equally important, managing your peers, because it's the peers who will say a good word for you, right? Right? If you don't do, good peer management beyond a point, beyond a level, no matter how good you are as an individual, your capacity to be getting influence, your capacity to influence, your capacity to convince upper echelons that you are suitable for higher levels will depend upon how many people have accepted you at the peer level. And lastly, there is something called boss management also, right? I think your boss also should be able to put in a good word about you. So it's a pretty tall order that, the level of, the range I should say, the bandwidth that you require as a leader keeps on expanding as you go higher and higher. I think I'll close at this point. Thank you.
Shared some very basic, very critical thoughts about the concept, and also perhaps given you kind of a slightly different perspective to think of when we are looking at growing ourselves as leaders in our career. We'll be very curious now to hear Janal Singh what you would like to share this thought.
Bakshi, the organizer, how many of you know what does DK stand for? Haath upar kar. It stands for Dilip Kumar. Not because his father thought, his father was a fan of Mr. Dilip Kumar, ठीक है, और इसलिए उन्होंने बेटे का नाम दिलीप कुमार रखा, और I know him for just a few years from COVID times, and दिलीप कुमार से कम नहीं है, ठीक है, well, a pleasure to be here. You know, leadership is the core of what I have been doing for the last 40 years. 40 years in the army, 3 years in Andaman Nicobar, and now in the corporate world and education world. I also teach an elective on leadership. So it's very difficult. And D.K. Bakshi साहब को जब leaders की सोचते हैं बात करने के लिए तो बहुत लोगों को बुलाते हैं, हमको नहीं बुलाते. Because the challenge is to speak about leadership in these 5, 7, 10 minutes. Maybe I'll squeeze 10 minutes out of Dr. Siddiqui. So सबसे पहले let me tell you why leadership is different in the armed forces. Leadership is present in all walks of life. So what makes it so special about the armed forces? 3 things. First is an unlimited liability contract. A leader virtually gives himself up to the organization. He does what he's asked to do, he goes where he's asked to go, even at the cost of life or injury. In return, the organization assures him that they will look after him and his in life and in death. This kind of mutual bonding doesn't exist anywhere in corporate administration, nowhere. And this is what an ideal organization should strive for. What doctor said just now, Bhandarkar, about give and take. A dual kind of exchange between the leader and the network. Second is, leadership in the armed forces is not about profit and loss. It's about life and death issues. So, the challenge is to motivate a guy to give his life. How do you do that? You can be, अगर आपकी कंपनी ने इस साल ठीक नहीं किया, next year you can strive to do better. You can come for programs like this, you can be sent to Goa on a holiday, you can be given a pay rise. But can you motivate someone to risk his life using these? No, sir. That's why motivation in the armed forces, it has to be a higher calling. It is about leading from the front. It is about putting yourself in harm's way before you put your subordinates. It's about standing up for what is right. It is about trust. It is about ownership. It is about camaraderie. That is leadership. And the third thing is that we don't have a choice to come runners up. We have to win every time and again. Only once we came runners up in 1962, and I still carry a chip on the shoulder for that. So we are resolved never again. और आपको एक एग्जाम्पल देता हूँ, एक बहुत सीनियर मंत्री आए एक बार अंडमान, तो वहाँ पे मेरे आर्मी के इंसिग्निया झंडे वंडे लगे होते, तो he said, जनरल साहब, you seem to be still carrying on so passionately about the army. So I said, yes sir, I owe everything to this. मेरा वजूद आर्मी से नहीं. तो he said, ऐसा क्या है? Fauj is responsible for external security. Police is responsible for internal security. तो वो भी important है. Yes sir. I told him, what? सही बोला आपने. Police भी equally important है. We respect it. I said, एक फर्क है. आप समझ लीजिए. अगर कल को पुलिस फेल हो गई, I asked him, किसको बुलाएंगे? He said, आपको. I said, कल को हम फेल हो गए तो किसको बुलाएंगे? कोई नहीं है. That's the challenge of leadership. So, just speak a little about some experiences. First is the symbiotic relationship between leadership and management. I'm surprised that all our business schools are called schools of management. In today's world, management will slowly be taken over by robotics and AI. They will do the function of management much better than humans. But managing human emotions is still not the preserve of technology. It is the preserve of leaders. So please remember that leadership is what you require for the future. And I think if I was to put it in a balance, 70% leadership, 30% management. We want leader managers, not manager leaders for the future. So don't shy away from taking your chance when you get it to become a leader. Don't be afraid to challenge the pros. कई बार क्या होता है, हम लोग बहुत डर जाते हैं कि जरन साहब की तो इतनी एक्सपीरियंस है, सिद्दीकी साहब इतने साल मारुति को गाइडेंस दिया है. Don't get afraid. Learn from them, defer to them. Treat them as role models, but then challenge them when you know that you have a better idea. Don't be afraid to challenge. आपको एक छोटा सा एग्जाम्पल देता हूँ. मैं कर्नल था 2001 military operations. That is the hub of the Army's operational plan, Delhi. And 13th December, the parliament was attacked. I could, sitting in my office in South Block, hear those shots. So I was responsible for the mobilization of the army, and then I was told that you will be promoted to brigadier and go and take over the brigade in Rajasthan, and a tank brigade, which will convert to the first T-90 tank brigade. It was a great responsibility. And as I was leaving, a letter came to the chief by having gravitas, not expediency. This is a special trait of us Indians. We are expedient. Can any of you explain to me what is gravitas? What is gravitas? जिस चीज में वेट हो, जो आपके सेंट्रल हो, कोर, which is the truth as you understand, which is your conviction, that is gravitas. Life में you will always get tempted to take to expediency. आज कुछ कहा, कल कुछ कहा, because it suits you. Don't do that. Whatever you do, remember gravitas. You will become a distinctive person, a distinctive leader when people realize that you only speak with gravitas, not expediency. The best decisions, in my understanding, are a combination of the mind and the heart. Mind, because you need to use logic. Heart, because you're dealing with human beings. If you use only the mind, you'll miss the human. And if you use only the heart, you'll miss the logic. So always combine your mind and heart. The proportions will vary depending on the situation. Somebody asked me, Jalal Sahab, senior leaders ka, can you name 2 traits which are most essential? I said, देखिए, जो senior leader बन गया, उसमें basic traits तो सब होने चाहिए. नहीं है तो फिर पहुंचा कैसे? But that apart, if there are 2 qualities of a senior leader, आप सिद्दीकी साहब से पूछना, वो इस पे हाँ कहेंगे. Are broad shoulders and a large heart. आपके कंधे मजबूत होने चाहिए ताकि आप डिसीजन ले सकें, उनके रिपरकशंस को सह सकें. You can stand up for your convictions. And large heart, people should know कि अगर it's not an act of omission or commission, it's an act of genuine error, the boss will take it in his stride. That's important as it is. Sir, 5 minutes?
We've already done 10 minutes.
So 2 minutes more. Okay. Another quality in a leader is to simplify. In today's world, you are getting so many inputs. Please learn the art of cutting the clutter and reaching the Schwerpunkt. The Germans call it Schwerpunkt, the point of main impact. That will distinguish you from other leaders who are pedestrian in nature. Okay? So, सिद्दीकी साहब को नाराज तो नहीं करूँगा. उन्होंने कहा था कि उस ज़ेन मास्टर ने कहा कि दिमाग से सब कुछ निकाल दीजिए. थोड़ा केयरफुल रहिएगा. सब कुछ निकाल दिया तो बॉस आपको लपेट देगा. Keep something in your mind. If there is time, you could ask me in my experience with the civil administrative service corporate, and I can share some views. Thank you very much.
Yes, request for
Haji, good evening everyone. Okay, at least I could hear some voices. I thought after that spellbound talk from General Saab, you all would be really silent, but thank you so much for staying back for this session. And today's session is really very special for me, and I'll just take 1 minute, but part of my overall 7-10 minutes. It's really a pleasure to share the dice with Dr. Asha, right, with whom I've been really working very closely on certain projects. My senior Siddiqui Saab, and of course General A.K. Singh, who's my school senior. So this is the second secret coming out after DK. It's always a pleasure whenever I meet him, whenever I listen to him. And my request to DK is that whenever you call General Saab next, give him at least 45 minutes, 1 hour. There's so much that we can really listen from him. Not from the corporate perspective, but the kind of experience that you as the senior leader in the armed forces, you can share those stories. So thank you, sir. So whatever little that you did with us. DK sir, thanks very much. As always, whenever we come here, Mr. Nurullah, Manisha today, and team of Global Talent, ladies, until recently you were sitting at behind, right? But it's glad that at least you have come forward. So it's always very nice. And I always tease Mr. Bakshi that when we come here, it looks like we have come to DK ki Pathshala. The kind of energy that he generates in the room, and the kind of he forces you to think. He asks you to talk about what you've been learning. Obviously, it always look like that we are the students and all of you are the teachers in that sense. And I think that's a great hallmark of any facilitator. So thank you so much. Since I've been also invited today here to talk about my thoughts on the topic for today, which is the DNA of leadership. And I really like this line, a vision of creating leaders with attitude, behavior, and character, right? And I think these are the core essence of creating that the leadership style. And what I'm going to do now in next 5-6 minutes is really to talk about how do I see myself and from my experience to share with you what I think should be the DNA of leadership. But before that, I think today's time is very different. The way we work, the way organization function, the way the leadership style is emerging has really dramatically changed in the recent year, right? All of us are currently living in a time where we are experiencing transformation. We all are exposed to so much of information, so much of word, and we have endless choices to make in our personal life, in our working life. And if somebody would have asked me what is the DNA of leadership, let's say 10 years back, probably I would have also come with the answers like it means vision, it means strategy, it means managing people, it means displaying leadership competencies. But I think with such kind of transformation and the changes in the workforce that is happening around us, to me, the best thing for a leader is how we really deal, or how we are human centric, and how we really show or exhibit authentic leadership. To me, that is the very important thing, right? All those things, vision, strategy, leadership qualities, or the competencies are the gate. If you do not have it, obviously you cannot reach, you cannot become either a people leader or a company leader or a functional head or the boss, but that will not really take you further, right? That will only help you to reach to that point. And it's that empathetic leadership that we display, it's what we armed with our emotional intelligence, empathy, humility, that we deal with the people, being aware of our colleagues' feelings. I think these are the important things, at least I've experienced myself in my 3 decades of journey. And this is what, whenever I really get a chance to talk to people, I share stories around it. Specific in terms of if the few thoughts and suggestions that I want to give to you in terms of the DNA of leadership, I think the first thing comes to my mind is authenticity, which I think couple of you also spoke about when Round Robin League was happening in terms of summarizing 2 days of session. I think if we have the ability to stand up for our values, if we have the ability to do what we want to do, irrespective of the stress around us, that really speaks authentic leadership. That's what our team members, that's what our colleagues, our peers really look at us, right? We need to be really true to our personality. And the best example that we heard from General Singh, that is what happens on the battlefield, right? We all sit in the cozy AC rooms, or maybe at best shop floor manufacturing setup, but the everyday our armed forces officers and jawans, what they display on ground is totally different thing under very difficult circumstances. And that's what is a good example of authenticity, right? You do what you really feel and you really value that. I think we need to be honest with others. That's another trait of authenticity. We need to be accept mistakes, which always happens with all of us. I mean, none of us are mistake proof. If as a leader we are displaying and we are really involving other team members around these qualities, to me that really helps in terms of creating your own internal branding, creating a mark for yourself. Agility is also something somebody spoke. I think agility to me is capability to gather and disseminate information, right? And since we receive a lot of information, we have access to a lot of information. What is that relevant and what is that important and what is that critical, right? All of us can always go on and talk about anything, hours and hours together. But in those few critical times, how we really use that information and how do we really adopt ourselves and how do we really be resilient, that is what the agility is about. And a good leader, an effective leader, an authentic leader needs to have that kind of a thing. Anticipating is another important piece, according to me, as a prime character of a, or so-called the DNA of leadership. It is ability to realize beforehand. If you are able to really think of the pros and cons when we work on a project, when we take a decision, when we sit with the team members, when we resolve a problem statement, how best we are able to really understand and understand the consequences of our actions or our inactions. really helps us to display quality of an effective leader. Articulation, I need not really talk about it. All of us understand how important it is to really talk to the team in a very coherent manner, in a very responsible manner, effective communication. But I think along with, as I said earlier, authenticity, anticipation, agility and articulation, the last piece is, which to me is very, very important, is the ability to connect the dot. Ability to connect the dot and ability to see the asymmetry. We're not living in a perfect world, all right? Every day, every moment we deal with a situation which is unknown, which is difficult. But how do we see what's happening around us? How do we see what's happening far beyond us? What's happening in the different parts of the world, within the same company, different geography, different regions, different functions, different department. I think as a good leader, it's very important if we can really, in our mind, connect those dots to our team members. We talk about it, we create those scenarios, we tell them, look, this is how it can be done, or what are the pros and cons. I think to me, it's very important how we really assimilate that information or set of various information, and we really put into a different places and make a sound judgment is very important. So those are the 5 critical points according to me in today's time, which actually start, as I said earlier, with being human-centric, being empathic leader. And before I close, I just also want to talk about one point which is very important. We may have heard it, we may know it in different words and different phrases, but I think we as a leader, we employ hands, right? So when you hire someone, you are actually employing, head, you are actually taking someone and you are entrusting that individual with some work. We need to engage with the heart of that person, right? Speakers before me also spoke about it. So while you employ a head or a body, you need to really engage with the heart of that person. You have to empower the hand, right? It's very important. As a leader, you have to give that space, you have to really empower that hand, and you have to enrich the spirit of that individual or the team members. I think all this goes hand in hand, and that's where we create leadership balance, what is called as the leadership balance, when all this heart, body, hands, spirit, all of these are moving in a very coherent manner, because your leadership style is really going to impact, make a difference, a lot of difference to other individuals. And that's where I think we need to maintain. And last but not the least is please catch your team, your individuals doing something right. We as a human being, we really often try to catch the wrong things. We often try to highlight something which is not working well. But I think you will do a good job to your colleagues, to your team members, if you really catch them doing the right things. Then of course, you coach them, you guide them for things that can be better. And that's where you really cultivate a very strong leadership style for yourself. You cultivate a very strong your own branding, and really which helps the individual and the organization. So with that, I think probably I've taken my 7-8 minutes or whatever time. I'm happy to share stories or experience through the question and answer round. So thank you very much. Thank you for the time.
I think one curiosity is that from the sports arena, who is the most admired leader in your mind? Quickly, which comes? What name?
MSD.
Pardon? MSD. Perfect. Anybody else? Corporate side, one name which you admire. Ratan Tata. Now, we have looked at two such names, MS Dhoni and Ratan Tata. Why there is so much big consensus about these two guys? What could be the reason? Why MS Dhoni? Why not Saurav Ganguly, Kapil Dev, Sachin Tendulkar, Virat Kohli? Why only MS Dhoni we talk about? Such a high esteem.
I think his humbleness, MSD. Very
Humbleness. What else?
Communication with the team.
Communication with the team. Empowering the team, hand holding the team.
Leading from the front.
Leading from the front. I think he was also looking at ensuring the potential of each team member comes to the greatest performance. I remember late Dr. Pritam Singh having that quality of bringing the best of potential in people around him. Not only people who are working for him, people around him, friends and, kind of this thing where he would like to bring their potential to the best performance, best blossoming to the rest of the world. Amazing character of a leader. Something similar we talk about Ratan Tata. So we are open to your queries. Any questions you would like to have to any of the panelists?
Anushri and Hemant, keep the mics. Give the mics to somebody the question. Ladies and gentlemen, please feel free. Ask as many questions. This is your time now. We are going to be leaving this room in the next 20 minutes. Please ask questions.
So I have a question.
Just give your name, your company's name and the question.
Name and company.
I am Javed and I am from Madrasapur. Yeah. So my question is, we know during the session or we were knowing before also that these are the traits of leaders. We know the shortcomings, but when it is coming to the solving the problems or try to solve, the consistency is not there. So we start, we lose. So how to be consistent with the shortcomings which we want to cover?
Very good.
The first thing is that you have to accept we are all human beings. And every human being has positives and shortcomings. And a true leader recognizes what his shortcomings are so that he is able to use his subordinates to fill the gap of those shortcomings. That's the quality of Dhoni and Ratan Tata. Okay? So recognize, don't let your ego become so big that when your ego falls, your position also falls. So थोड़ा सा humility or humbleness के साथ approach करिए, you will find these solutions.
आप close
Javed, if I just add a couple of ideas from my side, if I were in your situation and I heard you saying, correct me wrong, that we are trying, but sometimes we fail, sometimes we succeed, how to be more consistent. I think if it is a problem which the team is trying to solve, and let's say you are the team leader, I think we need to break in smaller teams, or maybe we need to sit with individuals in smaller groups and just try to understand why it is not working, why it worked last time, why it did not work, right? When you be part of the large team, sometimes people don't speak up, sometimes people are not able to really contribute. People may have different communication abilities as well. So that will probably help in terms of actually identifying the problem at the grassroots level so that you can take corrective action.
Thank you.
Can I? So I'm coming from a place of research and I want to share, and in real life also this works, to like people who are like us and surround ourselves with such people. And that's the biggest mistake we make. Because if there is one you and there are 5 other yous, where is the diversity? So his point of view says surround yourself. So they, as General Saab rightly said, so you can make up for them, each other. I think that's a great way to do it.
One target, 3 bombings. Now next time, one target, 1 bombing only. Okay. Next question.
Okay, he's hitting this side, don't worry.
Please.
So, myself, Anand Kumar. What are defining qualities, different qualities? A leader which belongs to a corporate in private sector, a leader in government sector, for example, in corporate belongs to a corporate.
I'll answer this with a question that was posed to me. People cornered me and they said, sir, what is the difference that you find in the leadership that you had in the military and now you have with the bureaucrats here? You are able to get work done out of them. What is the style that you have used? Where previous lieutenant governors had failed. So I said, look, I just used what I learned in the military. First, that you need to have high integrity. Okay? Whether you are in the armed forces, you are in the corporate, you are in the bureaucratic. There is no shortcut to integrity. Both Dhoni and Ratan Tata signified that. First thing. Second is that you need to be competent. You need to have commitment. Okay? And finally, you should have a passion for your job. So he said, sir, but what is the difference that you find and what you find lacking in all these civil services? I said, the last. I said, they are more intelligent than us. They have gone to Oxford, Cambridge, St. Stephen's, all kinds of schools. And the one thing they lack is ownership of the task and passion for their job. For him, it is a file that comes, he puts a note in and out it goes. After that, what happens, he is not working. We are taught you are given a problem from the initial stage till the last stage. You see it through. If you can't see it through, you go back to the originator and tell him why you can't have it done and how it should be done differently. Okay? So that's there. As far as the corporate is concerned, I think I'll request my friend Bakshi to say what is the subtle difference he has found in the corporate.
The level of empowerment probably is a little better in terms of less hierarchies for approval, because every time that we have to go up, obviously it dilutes and it slows down the decision making process. So that is one big difference. Second is the risk and rewards are both indirectly or inversely proportional, right? You strive more, you get more, all right? You strive less, you get less, right? I think that's also work in my mind in terms of our ability to really stretch ourselves, which sometimes on the other side, if we really don't find ourselves in a similar situation, we tend to drop the ball, okay? And the third big difference is that there is much more room, at least I'm not saying it may not be there on the other side, but there's much more room on the corporate side in terms of innovation and freedom to do something different. Jara hatke. Otherwise, you tend to follow the same line which the past or our predecessors have been doing, whereas on this side we have that freedom. So yeah, to me, those are.
I think to your question, I have a learning, Mr. Bhargav, and my answer to your question to me is that these are, what is the difference between government working and our private sector working? I said, what exactly is the difference? He says the government works on precedences. Every decision making is based on if it has happened in the past or not. If it has happened, then similar to that reference is made. Otherwise, you will be, investigated by inquiries and vigilance and CBI and all that kind of stuff. He says private sector, you don't have that fear. You have that liberty to take a call and fail and take responsibility to correct it or to redo it. So I think somewhere, perhaps that historically, that difference still exists.
Maybe. So, we are very brave people, we will withstand it. So, I wanted to give you a quick response on that. So, which means it's even more important that we build relationships. I'm not saying unethical relationship. I'm saying normal human relationships. If you know somebody, every rule, every regulation, people find solutions. Otherwise, people will quote the rule to you to say, "Bhai, ye ho nahi sakta hai." And I'm giving you just an example. I was just showing him one document which I got just now from a bank where we are seeking sponsorship. Last 2 years, they have been giving us for an NGO that we are all involved in, Mr. Bakshi, Dr. Siddiqui, myself. And every year they have been giving us money, 5 lakh sponsorship because we are an NGO. And till the last 1 week, I had to chase up. And this year I said, I'm exhausted here. I can't keep chasing these fellows. I'm fed up. For them, for a big bank, 5 lakhs is nothing, right? But then this time I found that somebody who has been my student has become executive director there. So मैंने उनको message डाला WhatsApp पे. That was on Friday. Today, I just sent him a reminder in the morning saying, is there any information needed from my side? Now I've just got the letter saying that sponsorship confirmed, formal letter from the gentleman. Ab batao. Show me the face, quote the rules, exam. Thank you. So इसमें lesson क्या निकाला आपने?
Networking, I think.
Please network, exactly. Please build relationships. And it should not be that, hello sir, how are you sir, when you have some work. And who are you sir, when you have no work with the person. Keep the relationship.
Absolutely.
I have a question now.
Yes, please.
And it's a very disturbing question for me. In fact, it will give me a lot of learning also. My name is Kriti Mathur and I am from Institute Heavy Engineering, Noida. So the question is like, when you are working in a private company, so the expectation from the management, especially from the HR side, is to operate in a given profit area, cost control, cost measures are there. So as an HR, how will you be able to balance when you need to face your people? One side is management, another side is people. So how to balance the approach? और जबकि आपको पता है आपके जो लोग हैं उनका आजकल की इनफैक्ट आजकल की यंग जनरेशन के लिए इंस्टेंट ग्रेटिफिकेशन का एक बहुत इशू चल रहा है. तभी हाई एट्रिशन भी हम देखते हैं कंपनीज में आजकल काफी हाई एट्रिशन है. लोग एक साल में नौकरियां चेंज कर रहे हैं क्योंकि इंस्टेंट ग्रेटिफिकेशन की नीड है, स्पेशली यंगस्टर्स को, जो कि आगे आने वाले काफी सालों में हम देखेंगे कि 70% पॉपुलेशन 35 ईयर से कम है. तो आने वाले टाइम पे पॉपुलेशन भी यंग ही कंपनीज में रहने वाली है. तो ऐसे टाइम पे हम कैसे बैलेंस अप्रोच रखें और किस तरीके से ऐसी इमेज बनाएं जो कि मैनेजमेंट को भी सेटिस्फाइंग लगे, एक्सेप्टेबल लगे और जो आगे हमारी टीम है उनको भी लगे कि हाँ हमें नॉलेज करा गया है, हमारी एक्सपेक्टेशन को मीट करा गया है. So I need some guidance in this.
Okay, Preeti, thanks for asking that question. You said it's a very disturbing question, but it's actually a very practical point that you raised. Are you alone from effective leadership? Look, probably it's very difficult to answer or respond to this very serious issue in 1 or 2 minutes, but I'll be really quick. I really don't know about your company, but there could be issues around funds, or there could be issues around the management practices, or there could be issues around the top leadership is actually not valuing assets which is employees. I don't know, it could be a combination of many things. I think if I was the HR over there, and as you rightly mentioned, HR is always a bridge between the employees and the management, and within management also the so-called either the promoters or people who own those or own that company. I think we need to really understand both the sides. Or if I as a HR manager, I'm only talking about organization or company or the management, and I really don't factor in the expectations or the values being driven by employees, I'm not doing my job well. All right. So and sometimes it becomes difficult. But in my experience, and my first job was also in a very autonomous manufacturing company, not exactly private, not exactly public sector. I think if you have a courage as a HR, if I have a courage and if I can really talk about it, I've seen doors get open. Because while people have certain mentality in terms of कि नहीं पैसे नहीं खर्च कर सकते, हम ये नहीं कर सकते, हम वो नहीं कर सकते. But at the end of the day, they are also human beings, right? How I really put up to them in terms of the benefits for the organization, the benefit for the individual, it makes a lot of difference. So I think the HR team, HR resources here needs to really understand it well. I don't know the exact problems, so hence I cannot be very specific. I can have always an offline conversation with you on this. But that is something, or that is a way only to deal with it in terms of putting up and talking about it rightly.
The question that you have posed is universal. It's a question that most leaders face, whether you are in corporate, HR, executive, wherever you are, in the armed forces, in the public sector. I think you need to have a clear understanding of what loyalty means. Once you understand that, you will get the way forward clearly. So if I ask you what do you understand by loyalty? Normally, most of us feel it's loyalty to the boss. No. Your first loyalty is to your job. What is your job? Okay? Your second loyalty is to your organization. Your third loyalty is to your subordinates whom you are responsible for. And the fourth is to your boss also. If you get these priorities right, you will not go wrong in your approach. Whether the boss accepts it or not is a different matter, because he's a human also. But please be clear on this.
I think let's give a big hand to this excellent answer. I think in the interest of time, let me conclude, or if somebody has got a pressing question still.
Any question?
Okay? We have talked about emotions, we have talked about bigger shoulders, heart, we have talked about empowering them, handholding them, getting the best out of them, integrity, ethical perspective. So, effectively dealing with people. And second is perhaps, which we commonly see, is driving success. Success for the institution, success for the team, success for the business, success for Indian Army, driving success. And third precise point is capability to handle adversity. I think around these three variables, the entire bundle of leadership is going to be managed. And perhaps you will be then judged on your content and on your character and on your credibility. So content and character excellent, credibility will be high. Content and character not excellent, you may think organizationally you are vice president or president or MD, but your credibility will be very, very low. The second perspective perhaps in my learning is that to a great extent there is a 360-degree perspective of leadership. Capability to look within, which everybody can do. Capability to look around, very few people can do. And capability to look beyond. Before it becomes obvious to others, you'll have to have that vision, capability to look beyond. Capability to look within, all of us have that very easily coming to us. Capability to look, and this is none other than our great guru, Dr. Pritam Singh, from where I have picked up some of these concepts. 360-degree leadership perspective. The third, again, very close to me, to my personality, the way I have been leading corporates in HR and in business, is to have guts and courage in communication.
Absolutely.
To have guts and courage in communication. How does that come? Guts and courage in communication. If you are ethically correct, if you are functionally accurate, if you have that self-confidence, you are doing good for the company, good for the people, you are being fair as a leader, then you will have guts and courage in communication. I have had that occasion, that number of times in Maruti boards or review meetings, I have had big kind of confrontations with topmost people, people at the chairman level, people, independent directors and all that. And I was known for having that kind of view, sometimes little rigid at times, and protecting aspirations of people in Maruti or in other companies in New Holland, maybe in London somewhere in the board. Big arguments. But believe me, general consensus or the kind of belief is that you will get hurt in this process. But it was Mr. Bhargav only who put me into different boards, into Suzuki companies and all that. That is, he told Mr. Suzuki, if you want to have your companies being driven fairly and with strong kind of hands, take this guy on the board. He will show the mirror to everything clearly. So you earn that reputation for yourself in the external environment by being tough, by having this courage and guts in communication. Generally, social research indicates 98% leaders have zero guts and courage in communication. They are more caring about their money and designation and life. Otherwise, you have to take a tough call. I said in the beginning, leadership is a very tough call. The third perspective is maybe looking at handling adversity. And I am repeating it. In Maruti, we had this very unfortunate incident, 18 July 2012, a big violence and maybe 100 people injured. One of my colleagues I lost in that process. And I was with the chairman at Noida. This happened at Manesar plant. And 7 o'clock I had to drive back to that place. At that time, when I was driving back, I was trying to remember what will be the leadership lesson. There was no leadership lesson. How to handle terrorism kind violence. Nobody was there to guide me. Mr. Bhargav stepped back, Mr. Naganishi, MD stepped back. They thought this is the guy who is going to lead HR, head of finance, legal, everything. He's the guy in front, he will handle. That is what happened next 20, 30, 40 days. All media, everybody was after me in life. Wherever I was going, there were a contingent of 100 media people following me at that point of time. At that point of time, Anand Mahindra, all these people were calling me, Mr. Ligi, don't let it go, be tough, very strong to handle the situation with the government and all that. And at that point of time, I took very tough actions next 20, 30, 40 days. Alone. At that point of time, I thought that perhaps it's a tough thing to be a leader, you know. It's not easy going, everything, you know, fashionable and people respecting you. Not at all. When you are a leader, when you are exposed to this kind of a sudden crisis situation, you are tested to the core. I was tested to my core. Handling adversity, I therefore, very specifically, if you want to make a choice to be a leader. Vision quotient, to a great extent, people like Mr. Bhargava and Mr. Osuki, what I have learned, Mr. Naganishi. And there is one story goes like this, that Naganishi, when he became the first Japanese MD of Maruti, and I became the chief operating officer at that point of time for HR, finance, IT, legal and everything. And we were thinking that Manesar, we do a tree plantation exercise because dust and new plant and all that stuff. Finally, we went there and I asked the civil plant people what trees we are going to put 20,000 trees today. They said ficus and many other horticulture trees. They also said mango trees. So I was just thinking of having a little fun with Naganishi because he was 63. So I asked these civil people how much time these mango trees will come up with the fruit. So they said 6 years. So I told Naganishi, what you are going to do today, 20,000 trees, you will get nothing. But I am going to enjoy these mangoes at Manesar. I was just joking with it. But what he responded made me feel so embarrassed that day. It was so small in my mindset, in my learning. Big learning I am sharing with you. He said, Siddhi, one responsibility of top management people like you and me is to build a Maruti Suzuki which is healthy with assets, so that the next group of top management comes and they appreciate our contribution. Building the company, building the institution, building the future, building the next pipeline of leaders. Not me all the time, myself. That is not leadership. Level 5 leadership, Jim Collins, is building institutions, building people, building future leaders. So perhaps with this kind of a little background, I thought, let me finish because it's almost time, a kind of a small story, and we end it up, you go maybe enthusiastically. There was a wise saint, sadhu, north of our country, having a small kind of a house there and doing some meditation prayers and living alone, maybe 1 or 2 disciples. Once a villager went there and asked him that I have some problem in our village. So he took out a book, old book, flipped some pages, gave a solution to this villager. He went back, implemented, and magic. That was a wonderful solution he gave. So more villagers started coming in and he became more famous. Again, people will share personal problems, agriculture problems, this problem. You take out this book, flip some pages, give a solution, and wonderful. Magical solutions. So more famous. So people started coming from south to meet this gentleman. Big CEOs and corporate honkos started coming and meeting. And big ashram, 25 disciples, everything becoming more big management issue. What the disciples were thinking, that if we get this book, then we become as famous and as wise as this saint. Why have this long apprenticeship? So every time when saint was not in his cottage, they will go and search for this book and they will never find this book. So this life was going on. Anyway, as life goes, this guy became old and then sick, and one day the saint passed away. So his funeral was done in a 20-20 cricket side, very fast, and gone in the river, and they ran to the cottage that evening. And they found that book in one of his old belongings box which they could identify with the saint. And they were very excited with that book in hand. To their horror, when they opened the book, it was all white plain sheets. There was nothing written inside. You attend all these programs and various kinds of opportunities your company is giving you on your job. You will have to write your own pages. You have to fill it your own pages. And in this process, I think all of us will sincerely wish that you do well in your careers. So my very best wishes. It was a privilege being here. Thank you.
Wasn't that fantastic and fascinating?
Yes.
Can we give a big round of applause? I would request my director of Global Talent Company, Thailand, Bangkok, Acham in Narula, 4th generation Sikh in Thailand. His heart is Indian, but he is Thai, to please share vote of thanks.
Full be Indian.
पूरी इंडियन है यार.
दिल हिंदुस्तानी. दिल हिंदुस्तानी. Sir Siddiqui, General Singh, Dr. Bandakar, and Bakshi Sir. Indeed, it is a privilege to be here on this platform, to listen to the very wise four gentlemen and ladies here, to give us the tips of being a great leader. You know, we are moving from a great leader to become greater than the greatest. And I tell you one thing, it all can happen because we can unleash the power within us. It's our responsibility to do that. I'm not going to repeat what they said because you have heard it. But let me cite perhaps a Chinese philosophy or a Japanese philosophy, maybe Siddiqui Saab can tell us. It is important to get the important things done. You know, it's very important, of course, you know, I mean, if it is important, we must get it done. And equally important, we must learn the art of letting things go that are not important. So managing your time, unleashing the power from within, because you have the time to do that, by continuously learning and learning and learning. Remember, you can always learn. You are only half cup, you are not full. Forget the past. And I absolutely agree with the panelists today. So ladies and gentlemen, let us get the right thing done. It is important to do that. And also make sure that we do the right thing. One more time, do the right thing and get the right thing done. Ladies and gentlemen, would you please join me in standing up? And we are going to thank the panelists here today 5 times. Okay? With our hands up. 1, 2, 3. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. And thank you.
Thank you.
More tips on the DNA of leadership. I again remember my Guru Padma Shri Pritam Singh, who said, leaders who work for others do not die. I have been talking since yesterday. Leaders who work for themselves are not leaders. He is watching us from there. So we have to become leaders who work for others. On behalf of Global Talent Company, I would like to thank each one of you personally, your HR leaders, your CEOs, business heads, who gave you opportunity to be here with us last 2 days, not only from the NCR, Delhi, Noida, Gurgaon, but somebody from Mumbai, somebody from Indore, somebody from Pune, somebody from Baroda, traveling all the way and staying in Delhi for 2 nights to be part of this program. My salutes to each one of you. You will get in next 4 days a complete report of this 2 days DNA of leadership in a digital mode, which will be made by my team and which will be sent on your email. You can share with your HR heads, with your business heads, with your CEOs. You can share with your family members. All your videos which have been captured, all your pictures will also be shared through the WhatsApp groups to all of you. Personally, I am grateful to God Almighty that we could finally get this place, which is our normal place of work, which was becoming tough for DNA of leadership, because this is we are used to this room. And I am thankful to my team who have supported and made it possible while I was traveling internationally, and they made everything possible and get all of us here. Thank you very much. There is a feedback form, please check, and I would again like to say, grow, grow, glow with grace, gratitude, and goodwill. We have added in 2023 the goodwill to our 5-6 Gs, and there's a G being added for next 2025 also. So next t-shirt will come with another G, because global talent, you are all global talent, we are all global talent, and our responsibility is one earth, one family, one future, irrespective of caste, creed, color, nationality, and religion. That is the power of global talent. All of you are global. All of you are global talent. All the best. Shubharatri. Thank you very much.
Okay, Bakshi, let's have a formal session. There
We would like to know what changes, what upgradation we have done in our program. That's the reason.
Yeah, chalo, Sejiki Sanse.
Sir, let's go for the food.
Yes, look at camera.
Haso.
Yes. Wait. Just a bit, please. Thank you.
Thank you. And please take photo while we are.
You have been part of this DNA of leadership many times. And in fact, in COVID, we started new DNA of leadership as well, online. What do you feel about this DNA of leadership program, which we started in 2014, and we are already in 2023, and multiple programs have been conducted globally as well as in India. How do you feel about DNA of leadership of global talent today?
I think to a great extent, an excellent, well-curated, maybe every time renewed kind of a program on leadership DNA. Perhaps to a great extent taking into context COVID, post-COVID, the kind of challenges business world is facing today. And leadership DNA undergoing a big change. Also, I looked at very high energy, maybe people participating with a lot of passion, and therefore perhaps internalization of learning. Excellent program, my compliments. Global Talent.
Thank you very much, Siddiqui sir. Always a supporter to our initiatives. Look forward to seeing you more and more on our DNA part of it. Thank you so much. Leadership program which we have.
Patricia, my compliments. It's a dynamic, well thought out program, and it does tickle the mind of the participants. I think that's the key. Rather than just giving them well-established issues, I think you are posing to them to open their minds and be able to think, because that is what is going to come in handy when you face this life situation. Thank you.
Thank you so much for being part of us. And thanks again. We would like to have you more and more. Looking at DNA of leadership and a common guru with us. What do you think about this DNA of leadership today?
Thank you for inviting me for this, Patricia. I want to highlight that I've been associated with Global Talent for many, many years now. And the way this program is coming up, the DNA of leadership, it is growing and playing a very important role in building future leaders, and it is doing it so consistently, and I'm really impressed by the efforts that you guys are putting in this. And for me, the most striking and most heart-touching has been the fact that even during COVID times, your company was one of the very few companies who did not lay off anybody and who continued to pay salaries to everybody, which I think is the biggest sign of leadership, self-sacrifice, which you not only talk about, but you also demonstrate in practice. My hearty congratulations to Patricia to be a leader and to show it in practice. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Dr. Bhandarkar. And you have been always a great support. Please continue to be with us as well.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Very beautiful, wonderful. What do you feel about Global Talent's DNA?
Thank you, DP sir, first inviting us over here. I think every time that I come here, I really find a lot of energy, good positive vibes over here. Your team is fantastic. And the best thing is, I find the quality of discussion, talks that happen, right? So while the program title remains the same in last few years, but I think you are always raising the bar, and which is very important. And I think it would be nice to know from the past participants how they are doing, how they have moved. At least you'll have some measurement of in the participants' life, previous years participant. I think that is something that you can connect some story. But it's always a pleasure. One really feels nice, one really proud to be part of Global Talent, fantastic team that you have, and I wish you and your team always.
Thank you very much, Patricia, for always supporting us. And you are one person again with whom I have a connect, where at any time I can call and you are part of us and give us support. Thank you very much.
Ashirwad.
So how was it? You are 2 days DNA of leadership.
Sir, it was a lifetime experience. I have been to many programs in the past, but the energy, the enthusiasm, the power of positivity, and the Pagalpan, the new word, which rose to the heights, it was a wonderful, amazing experience. Part two with this journey, and what I learned and what I will cultivate in my team just to develop, spread this message to spread the positivity, to bring the energy, to bring the environment so conducive that the people grow, organization grow, and the talent grow. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for being part of us. Is there anybody else who belongs to the leadership?
Sir, it was hidden treasure. Some of the points which I was not able to find in myself in the last 2 years. I have gathered that courage to find it out and use it in my leadership skills.
Thank you very much for being a great participant and, with heart involved into the company. Thank you very much. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
How do you feel about the DNA of leadership you participated last 2 days?
So it was absolute delight and joyful experience with this 2-day workshop. We learnt a lot, and since we are working for a non-profit organization, an NGO, this DNA of leadership will help us bringing more impact for the society. So I'm really grateful and thankful to Bakshi sir, really thankful to Global Talent for giving us this opportunity and for throwing so much of learning and experience towards us. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much for being part of us last 2 days. Thanks a lot. And you have been always a supporter of us. And I'm thankful to you for that. And you spent the last 2 days with us. What do you feel about DNA of leadership?
I think this is a great initiative and it is a program which I feel every budding leader should attend, and it gives a lot of insights about your leadership behavior, your managing teams, your contributing to the growth of the organization and growth of the people, which I think every individual needs at this level to grow as a leader, grow as a manager, and I highly recommend this program for every manager to attend and get insights and get enlightened wisdom and lot of training.
Thank you so much. Thanks for being here.
I would like to know what are your takeaways, what's the learning, how was your experience on this program?
Thank you, Niti. Myself, I am from Action Tessa. I lead their talent management space.
Okay.
So the program was certainly fantastic. It unboxes a lot of thoughts in my mind, and also it has got a new perspective towards leadership in my mind, which was given by Dr. Asha, which said that leadership is more of a relationship than of a trait.
Absolutely.
Earlier, we used to think of it as a trait that yes, leadership is a trait which is inbuilt in you, but no, it's more of a relationship. Or how do you actually groom this relationship with your peers and your subordinates?
Thank you so much for giving us the time. Pleasure.
Yes, sir. Hey. Once more. So smile.
Also.
Yes.
All is well there, ends well. All is well there, ends well.
So it ends with us. So it ends now, or everything.
All is well there, ends well. And new beginning starts of a new program. If not in 2023, 2022.